very low scoring across the board. Beast Mode, a bunch of good goals. Torment, he's a defensive rock. The brick wall on defense. V1 only gave up, I think, 2 goals in the entire series, and then finally, we got the highlight match, and it delivered. Moist for Space Station, I think, were the 2 best teams on the day. Unfortunately for Space Station, because of that 3-2 wild card, they had to go up against Moist.
The only reason I wanted this Space Station to be like that low on the rankings on the wild card was to see this match at the beginning, because I knew they could deliver, and that was a beautiful spectacle for both teams.
Well, the moment it got to match point here, though, for Moist, it felt inevitable, Gibbs. At this point,
me and you were talking about it. We're like, they've won 3, they don't lose Game 7, so I don't know why we're still playing it. And Moist, they deliver again. Vatira, huge Game 6 there at the end. And Moist, they were the favorites coming in, but after that performance, I think they're even more of the favorites to win this entire thing.
They are still on top there. We loved seeing them play. We'll get to see them play again a little bit later on, but not today. Today's all about Group B action. We'll cover that here in just a moment. But before we do, we got to talk a little bit about what happened there with NRG and version 1. There was so many people said that, oh, this is NRG. That was just a fluke. The situations that have been happening here, Bates. What's going on with the General?
The General just needed to win a single game, and they had it in their hands. Johan, throw up the drawing board for me, please. Let's get her popping. Listen, you're going to see 3 themes here, y'all. You're going to see panic. You're going to see anxiousness. And then you're going to see a little bit of electricity. A little bit of electricity from that young man who's called a beast in and of himself. We're going to start off right here. V1. This is the Justin goal. 10 seconds left from NRG. There's 1 double commit already. Another double commit right here. And then they let Beast Mode shoot all from the corner into the goal. It was absolutely amazing by Beast Mode, but it should never happen. Should never happen, and I'll tell you why. Squishy and Garrett G right here. This is Rocket League 101. Squishy, don't double commit right there. Let the ball go down the field. Garrett's going to hit it this way. They're going to waste all the clock. 14 seconds left. But, of course, it happens. Sometimes it happens. You got to regain from those. That's 1 double commit. We didn't need to see it right there. And here comes number 2. Justin and Garrett.
Not again.
Folks at home, I'm busting back open to see. Let's go. The field is wide open here. There's nobody here. I can draw for days. Look where everybody is. Look at my circle. Now all 6 players are right there. Just let the ball go, Garrett, please. Please, just let it go. But he didn't. And now they're stuck in a pickle. Stuck in a pickle right here. Justin has to panic. Squishy, you didn't see it on the bottom of the screen. He just picked up the 100 boost over there. He should, in theory, be coming back and covering the back post, the exact place where Beast Mode slide the ball. You'll see where Squishy ends up here. But right here, this is where everything goes in. Gibbs, I want to ask you a question. What do you think should happen in this moment?
Well, goal line defense should probably be a little bit better. Garrett G has to make a decision, and I'm just going to spoil it right now. He doesn't make a good decision. He does basically nothing.
He does.
On the
He
goal
does
line.
absolutely basically nothing. That's the burrito, as Damar would say. He did absolutely nothing. Garrett G, he's going to rotate in the net in a couple seconds. If he's going to rotate into the net chat, he needs to sit there and cover this angle right here, and also he can cover this if he's right there. But as you're going to see, he's going to rotate out to about here, and he's going to be absolutely useless. Nothing. He can't do anything. Torment's going to fake it, get Justin go back low, and Mariano, I'm so confused. That's a question mark right there. I don't know where Squishy went that whole entire play. It should never happen. It was a great shot by Beast Mode, but it was just NRG. They just wanted to win the game so much. It meant so much to them. They did that monkey up their back, kind of like BDS, and ultimately didn't end up happening.
Was that a fluke moment from NRG, or was that really indicative of the entire series?
I mean, it was Game 3. They're already down 2-0 at that point. They have to make a stop. They have to show energy, being clutch, being those world champions, and they don't deliver. And at that point, like, it's over. It's over.
Well, for NRG, they'll have an opportunity to regain in that lower bracket. We won't see them again, though, till Friday, so they've got some time to recover, to think about it, and then to build up the energy. They're going to have the biggest army they've had in front of them in years, literal years at this point, with that 13,000 people it'll be in Dickies Arena. Excited to get there. But before we do, let's talk about some of the highlights from yesterday. Now, that was a low light we discovered. Let's look at the top 3 plays from Group A action, starting off with BDS.
Monkey Moon coming out, getting a little bit bumped, and he goes back on the wall, and just a nice little gentle tap back into the net. And once Monkey Moon scores this, you know he's ready to play at this point. He's considered one of the best in the world at times, but the last few lands haven't shown it, but right here, he delivered.
That was a great play from Monkey Moon, too. The free jump, bumping Kami right there, and coming right back off the backboard. It's something he needed. He needed to get that monkey off.
Yeah.
All BDS needed that right there. That was something that set them up.
Man, but Exotic here. We've been watching this man get better and better as this event goes on.
And that double touch, I mean, he does everything. He's ready to be clutch and get the wins whenever the team needs it. And that's why he brought them, mid-season. So Exotic being amazing.
That's game 3 overtime as well.
Yeah.
Exotic, 3 overtime winners in that series in a row. And he did it all by himself right here. Exotic, first world championship.
What a way to do it, though. But best goal of the day in a losing effort. What is that? I'm a little angry. That's incredible.
That's the first goal from that. And that's game 3.
That's a 20 out of 20 out on the freestyle
And
shot.
Justin's like, yeah, come on. We need to score, boys. So I'll put it in my backpack right here.
You put that up in a freestyle competition, like, okay, we see you. This is the world championship of a 3v3, and
You can't even play Torment. You know, Torment's a brick wall, but he's not saving that. No, never.
Nobody's saving it.
He's looking at that going, okay, fair, Justin. That was
Yeah.
a good shot. All right, cool. Let's keep it going. I mean, we're winning, so I don't really care. But my goodness, what a goal there from Justin. Well, again, get to see them again a little bit later on. But for now, let's talk about Group B action. We'll move into an entirely different set of 8 teams here, trying to whittle it down to 4. We got an inter-regional battle to start off the day there, or up at the top of the bracket there, G2 versus Optic. We got Falcons and Dignitas. I'm excited about that one. But Tobacco, the thing that is so special about this group is the fact that we got 2 South American teams still here alive and fighting for that title.
Yeah, you gotta make it level. You know, you got 2 NAs, 2 EUs, and then 2 South Americans as well. That's how you do it here. So, yeah, I'm so excited about it because a lot of people were not giving credit to the club, especially. I mean, we knew Furia was going to be here, you know, for a long time. They've been playing excellent. But having the club here, people were saying, like, I mean, they're third state on South America, so they're going to lose very easily. They're not going to make it out of the wildcards, but they're here now.
What about Team Seek?
Well,
Hey,
yeah, they didn't make it. So why should we be talking about people that are not here right now? I mean,
You got me right there.
And that is 2 teams for Sam, while Mina and OC, that they only got 1. So, you know, South America really delivering right now.
Yeah, I mean, the region has become stronger and stronger. And I mean, it was so fun. I feel like I felt so good to see the way that the desk talked about Furia across the course of the wild card.
Right.
Everyone kept saying, if you win the wild card, your reward is you get first round. You have to play Furia. No one wants that, right? And like they have earned such a respect from all the competitors here.
maybe K-Corp do want it. Maybe they do want
It's
it.
the one team that won.
Because they won against Furia the last 2 times, so maybe Carmine feels like that's the matchup that they really want. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not saying they're right. I'm not saying that, but maybe they were crazy enough to want to play against
Crazy
Furia.
enough.
I mean, how do you think that how does Furia feel coming off of Gamers 8 and that the victory there, obviously not the same format being played here, but a win is a win. Like that must have done a lot for their confidence.
They have to feel really good. I mean, whatever you say, Bates, I know you're not a fan about the format and whatever, that's fine, but they had a few wins against top teams in the world. I mean, they won against Falcons in 3v3. So I mean, you gotta feel really, really good about it. I mean, they still want to test themselves against, you know, Moise and all the other teams. This is not a guaranteed win for them, but, you know, I think they're playing better. Their style is evolving. They're not the same as they were on winter and spring. So I feel like, you know, they're taking the chances to improve.
Yeah, like it's not really about format in that. Like it's more about pressure, where there's big money on the line, and Fury comes out and delivers, and that is huge. Going to a world championship, sure, now it's all 3v3, but now they know that when it comes down to it and they need a game win, that they can absolutely do it on the biggest of moments. So, Furia, a deadly team coming in.
Absolutely. The club as well, another team that we didn't talk about as much here, but they're such a fierce team, and we'll get to talk about them a little bit later on as they are our first match of the day. So let's take a look again at that Group B graphic here and talk about who we think is going to move forward. We did this yesterday. We got like half of them right or something.
I think it was perfect. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So we're going to go down the line. Everybody gets to make a prediction, and then we're going to grill you for whether we think about it. And I'm not giving you the South American matches here. You got to give me G2 versus Optic. Who's taking that?
I want to see G2 back. I want to see, you know, like the G2 that played on Winter. That's the G2 I want to see.
Yeah, that feels like what it will be. Like, Optic is one of those teams that can beat teams below them. They were expected to be a 3-2 wildcard team, and they did exactly that. But going up against G2, I do question it a little bit because G2, yes, they won Winter Major Baits. We all know about that.
Oh, God.
But what happened in fall and
ago.
spring? Yeah, what happened in fall and spring? No top 8 there. So we'll see what G2 shows up, but they are expected to win that match.
I don't feel like I can disagree with it just because of how kind of topsy-turvy Optics felt during the wild card. But depending on how Optic play in that match, that might change the way I feel about them for the rest of the bracket.
G2 Esports. That's just simple. That's just that simple.
Yeah, no one disagreeing there. Gibbs, we got Furia versus K-Corp.
I'm sorry, Chamaco. I'm sorry, but I got to go K-Corp right now. They're hot in the
you
wild
should be
card.
sorry. Yeah.
They're one of the hottest teams coming into this event. They could win this entire World Championship. K-Corp and Astral been playing like one of the best players in the world yet again. I'm going K-Corp.
Was there anyone else, this is a weird speculative question, was there anyone else from the wild card that had they gotten Furia there in round 1, you would have picked them over Furia?
A lot of teams, I think, because of, like, we're talking about wildcard teams with momentum coming in. Like, Furia, we know they're great, but it's their first match. I think it's very, very difficult.
I would have said V1, SAP. That was the only 3 teams that match Furia in the wildcard.
Man, this is some disrespect.
I'm going to say that Furia starts a little bit slow sometimes.
Yeah, that's
okay. So, yeah, going with Gibbs, I see why your, twisted mind is thinking that way.
I just want them to get free wins in the lower
twisted
bracket.
mind.
Right, that's all. That's all.
I see. Optics a free win for Furia.
Yeah, sure.
We'll talk about that one here in a second. Here. FaZe Clan versus the Club.
Think about all the work these players put in.
defense, a coin flip. It depends on who's playing better on the day. Yeah versus FK and everybody else following in. So, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah, there's no bad-looking teams here. No bad-looking teams. No bad-looking people. Look at the sign. Look at the people. We got so many wonderful people here. By the way, make sure you go in and get in your merch, your RLCS merch. You can buy this in a booth right over there. If you're in the house, make sure you go get some, folks. It's wonderful stuff. Now, let's talk about the matches that are coming down the pipeline today. We've got some crazy ones. Take a look again at the schedule. Okay, we're going to end the day with Falcons Dignitas. We're going to hold off on that bananas match until the final match of the day. Karmine Corp Furia, you'll have to wait on that one a little bit as well. Optic versus G2, the inter-regional battle will be happening second, but we're going to start with the club taking on the clan here. FaZe Clan going up against the underdogs there from South America. I'm so excited for this one, Tramago.
Yeah, and you better be. I mean, we all should be. Because, again, I don't think there's anything the club has shown to us that they cannot hang with these teams right now. I think you know, you might say, well, they didn't beat any team that is on the wildcard that is here now. But still, I think they have shown that they're very electric and exciting to watch.
The club is a formidable opponent, but FaZe has always had a problem that they've had to deal with. One team that they have yet to really get past.
When FaZe Clan need a miracle, 3 heroes will always step up. The first killer on the scene is usually this guy, but underestimate the others at your peril.
Still pass it back in FaZe. Back to first.
Space, back to first. Killer places it well.
Every hero has their kryptonite, and failure to share the spotlight can leave FaZe Clan's not-so-secret lair very breachable indeed.
All out. Oh, man. Quick transition. Away. Quick shot.
Time after time, they've seemingly had the big bad in their sights.
First killer gets a quick pass. It's typical. First killer slips across to the right and puts it in.
But then succumbs to the Championship Sunday pressure. Now, they've had the time to train in the shadows and prepare for the moment the entirety of Worlds is on the line. To win it all, FaZe must overcome their fiercest enemy, them.
I'm pretty sure what he said was themselves.
Yeah, got cut off a little bit there.
We'll see FaZe Clan. That has been their biggest challenge, though, it feels like. If they're popping off here, Bates, nobody can stop them.
On paper, they're the best team in the world. And we're talking about mechanics, pure raw, speed, and everything else like nobody else can imagine. When they picked up Typical going into the winter, everybody's like, it's wraps, it's done, FaZe are going to dominate, but it hasn't materialized just yet. They need to put it all together right here, right now. World Championship stage.
Pure stats, you go FaZe Clan all day. #1 team in goal scoring in North America. The highest plus-minus goals for versus goals against was FaZe Clan as well.
Well, on the other side of things, a team trying to prove everyone wrong. It's the club.
Sim, a gente está muito feliz de estarmos disputando contra os melhores times do mundo esse título. É muito gratificante porque isso prova aquilo que eu já acreditava, que meu time tinha sempre potencial para chegar longe. Todos os times que chegaram aqui têm seu mérito, e nenhum deles fez fácil de ganhar. O time que mais queremos ganhar é a Mosh, pois praticamente estaremos ganhando dos melhores times. Caralho, mano. O sonho de todo player é ter um legado, e comigo não é diferente. Eu quero olhar pro meu passado e sentir orgulho pelo que eu fiz. A gente tá muito feliz, e isso é só o começo. E pros haters eu deixo os resultados falarem por nós. Bora, The Club!
Club trying to get through their biggest opponent yet, Gibbs.
True underdogs here. They come in 3-2 out of the wild card. The #3 team from South America, Chamaco, but they want to make some noise.
I mean, they're the #3 because they had some changes in the roster and everything, and it wasn't looking good for them. They needed some time to readjust. But once they did, I mean, once they clicked, this is the team that took Furia to 3 best-of-7 all the way, 21 games, 10 overtimes in that final regional.
They give me RCX vibes, and when you need to be on this team, come on those type of lines. They have the mechanics, they have the speed. They just need a little bit more experience. They're gaining that throughout this whole entire wild card and now in the main event. But the caveat to all that is that they haven't beat a single main event team in the wild card. They beat a whole bunch of teams that ain't here no more, but now they're going up against a Clan.
They have not, but we talked about MVPs. The wild card loss is on that list as well. Probably top 5 for MVPs. He put on a phenomenal performance throughout all 5 series that they played.
They do have, though, a experience advantage to some degree over FaZe here. They've been playing on this stage for 5 days. FaZe, this is their first time up here.
Yeah, you talk about it. You talk about the wild card gives you some momentum, and they definitely got it. They are here. They have seen FaZe, play against Furia for a long time, so I'm sure they have a lot of data in this matchup.
Well, we heard from FaZe earlier, and we actually got to catch up with them, get their thoughts prior to this match.
It feels really amazing to be here at the Worlds in Dallas. It's a dream come true for all of us, playing at the biggest Rocket League LAN ever, and we were hoping to bring it home. If not, then improving as a team, just getting better together, and staying confident is what we want. This tournament is important to us, so we can show to everyone that we are better than they think. We've had to fight pretty hard to get here, just going through the thick and thin together.
Does power through, will stay on the plate, gets the demo. Typical double tap. Goes for net. I was expecting the pass, Corelli, and he goes for the shot.
We've been preparing for this tournament and going over replay reviews, talking out with our coach, just working together, having bonding inside and outside of the game, and just giving it our all. The general vibe of the team right now is the best it's ever been heading into Worlds, so it should help us going through the event.
The offense coming alive for FaZe. Typical taking over. Now off the ceiling. Has AJ in front of net. The drop down pass. AJ puts it in.
We are the best team because we are the most mechanical, the fastest, the smartest. I'd say to anyone that says we don't stand a chance to watch the tournament. All right, let's go Dallas. FaZe up.
Bates, I feel like you could make an argument throughout the season for any one of these players being the strongest part of the lineup.
Oh, most definitely. Typical towards the back end for FK. We only have to think about him. And then AJ towards the beginning. I mean, it's mechanical brilliance all throughout the team. It starts with that young man in the back. He has to hold down the back line. The best he's ever done his whole entire tourney in order to become a world champion. And AJ said in the interview, you said he'll be okay with them just improving the team. No! You don't pick up Typical and you just want to improve as a team. You're a world championship contender. We expect to see you there on Sunday competing for the chip.
And here's AJ. We'll talk about London a bit. He had some travel issues going into that, didn't perform at his best. So FaZe, they finished 9th there, but been here for a while, that they have been prepping. I think FaZe Clan is ready for this match. And we all know that the North American MVP was robbed.
Oh, God, here we go.
Kill it right here. #1 in goals per game, #1 in assists per game, #1 in score, #1 in shots. There's no better player in all of North America. First killer should have been MVP.
Gibbs, I hope he matches all these numbers on the stage because he's got a big man behind him. If we can get the camera on him. Where is he at? Where is he at? There he is! Coach D's on his first game, baby. Look at him. He ain't on the stage no more. He ain't with us. He's coaching the boys from FaZe. And they're absolutely looking good now with that young man behind him.
A lot of pressure on FaZe, though. Last time he was a coach, he became a starter on that team. So watch out. You better perform here.
Yo, every time he's up here with us, he's got a smile. He's got like, you see that glint in his eye of him trying to find what you're saying and be like, nah, that ain't true. And like trying to find a way to razz it. He's all business right now. That man looks fierce.
Didn't even smile at the camera. Nothing. He's ready.
He's locked in.
Well, you were talking about the stats that those teams were, that first kill was putting up. You can see how much he's buffed up his team stats. But as Bates just said, Gibbs, none of this matters.
Yeah,
all that matters is these 7 games.
I don't know. Like Club, we talk about wildcard, #2 defense there, but the offensive performance was not great. The 12th best offense in all of the wildcard. They're going up against the #1 offensive NA, so that defense has to perform.
They were counter-attacking. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. I mean, they got it.
It did work
got him
against wildcard teams, but FaZe, I'm not sure if that's going to work.
Well, one thing they were doing really well as well, they were making more demos, which is something we don't see that much in South America, and they were using that to open spaces. And we have seen that have worked in the past against FaZe when they're not expecting the demos from some South American teams, and then when it happens, it opens up some opportunities.
Well, let's find out who's going to win. But before we do, let's take a guess at who's going to win. Make our picks. You guys make your picks at home in the Verizon fan vote. Hashtag club, hashtag FaZe. And there's a few obvious predictions here. Club. We got a club there from Chamaco.
Yep. No, come on, Chamaco.
You already know I'm going with the FaZe.
Okay,
He's
going FaZe.
Like what?
He's wearing FaZe colors.
He is wearing.
You got to dress for your pick, so, you know, I dress for my pick as well. We got the FaZe red coming out.
You have it underneath. You have it underneath because you're not sure about it. Once they lose, I mean, you're gonna put it up. What like that?
You got to dress. I'm going FaZe all the way.
Listen, FaZe is going to win for one reason and one reason only. They have the best player in the field. He's going to dominate. Let's not stop again, Gil.
Number one in basically everything. Yeah, go ahead. Goals, assists,
Chamaco, what's the club going to do against that? They couldn't even beat SSG or V1 in the wild.
Are people talking about first killer or are they talking about Lost? You know, they're talking about Lost the whole time.
We got Lost very strong as well.
Yeah.
As much as I love Lost there, I will say I love that they've put AJ in the middle seat there. I think
you see that, huh?
Rock solid mentality there is going to keep his team kind of gathered up there, and they've got a new coach behind them. This team's got a lot of aces up their sleeve. I'm excited for them. Give me FaZe in this one as well. I would love to see the club play upset, but I do think FaZe is going to win. How do the fans at home feel about it? They're going to be at 68% for FaZe. We're ready to play here in Dickies Arena. I know the players are itching to get onto the pitch, so let's get down to Manfield. In the blue, we've got the club. In the orange, FaZe Clan. A best of 7 to advance in the bracket. Let's get to the Verizon Skybox for the call.
Two teams absolutely desperate to prove that they are not the third best team in their region. Both capable of so much more. But Stumpy Goblin, who's going to be the first to prove that they can go all the way in a tournament like this?
Well, when you look at the numbers, as we so likely like to do, you look at FaZe, you look at them internationally. They've got a fantastic win record. Between 62 and 67% between games and wins, and series rather wins across the world. Over the club, they are yet to beat a North American team. They have lost to SSG and V1 here. This is their first RLCS together. This is where they try and change that.
They have been running well, though, against these North American teams. A couple of games against SSG is impressive. A couple against V1, who warmed up in the Swiss, also impressive. So FaZe Clan will not be coming into this one thinking for a split second it will be simple. Simple makes it almost look simple with an early shot. And FaZe Clan are getting some early pressure as well. Look at the clean touches they're able to make. Astromic, he has to stand so tall for the club, the man with the experience.
We first saw him back at the Fall Major as well, which was a lot of fun over on Era Eternity, but since then, he has just been picking up teammate after teammate, trying to get a new vibe. But AJ, he said the vibes on this team have never been better, and so far it looks very good. The offense from FaZe Clan, as Gibbs was saying, the best that we have seen coming out of North America.
A really interesting comment as well from AJ, saying they are the smartest team. Now, when I think of FaZe Clan, I think of a lot of compliments. I think of brilliant mechanics. I think of individual just ability to break through any defense. I don't necessarily think of gameplay intelligence that Astromic almost gets an early goal and lost. Follows it up, showing that FaZe Clan defense can indeed be breached.
Kicking it off with the pass coming from Astromic. He dunks on first killer. Actually, it's a threatening shot onto AJ, who he then removes from the line. Lost a brilliant start. Fist bumps all round on the blue side of the stage.
And it was Astromic who, when he first rose to prominence in the South American scene, he was the ball chaser, he was the attacker, he was the big man who always wanted to put the ball away. But since creating this team of KV1 and Lost alongside him, he's really stepped back a little bit, more of a third-man role. First killer, he definitely doesn't have a third-man role, as he attacks that one.
And that's the thing with Astromic as well. Previously, when we saw him in the Fall Major, he was on Era Eternity alongside Snips and Math. But instead, he's been switching them out. He's been trying to make this fantastic team. And coming through by the hand of Furia as well, their work at the Spring Major, where to get the club to this LAN, they had to go through FaZe Clan. They did so, earned enough points. So the club have got Furia to thank, and FaZe Clan, they do not want to be thanking them at all.
Everything coming full circle as we find ourselves this opening day of Group B, this opening game even of Group B. Simple goes to the side. FaZe Clan find themselves a goal behind. Have to put some work in. After a few clean touches at the start of the game, it's really been the club who are looking slightly more aggressive and attacking and dangerous. Astromech gets an early shot, lost goes for the redirect, and Typical gets that one to the side.
Fancy something cheeky, but instead Firskiller and Typical both working their way down the pitch. Lost, though, able to take that touch. AJ diving in and giving up a lot of possession towards the club. A miss from Lost leaves it to KV1 to hold down that back line. Typical in the sky with that pinching towards the goal. Firskiller is up, saved away by Lost.
Lost, who has been their MVP throughout the final split. He is a wonderful player, so aggressive, so attacking. Will get loads of touches, but AJ does get involved in the attack. Typical takes the touch. Astromech against him so quickly. Firskiller is there. What can he do for these guys? He gets the flick reset. It's over the top. Oh! He's almost there. AJ, though, will finish it. Via an Astromech touch, but FaZe Clan do equalise.
First got a great shot onto that back ball with the flip reset. KV1 did not know what was coming, and Lost also had to avoid that ballistic missile coming his way. AJ, great positioning, and it was mentioned on the desk. He's now sitting in the middle. One interesting place to be putting him, but he is a rock. He is able to keep his brain incredibly stoic no matter what happens. Sure, he'll be disappointed or elated, but he will be keeping everybody on the exact same page. And that's before we even talk about Roldis standing right behind him. Their brand new coach, a good friend of ours. He is going to have to try and figure out what this team needs to break through into those grand finals.
Yeah, and we're already seeing that there may be some tweaks required for FaZe Clan. They did get that equaliser, but it was from Firstkiller's mechanics. I think general play looked a little bit better, but now FaZe Clan are starting to ramp up the attack, growing into this one, that opening match of this World Championships, lest he forgets. Lost takes the touch. That's the corner he goes. Firstkiller's been beaten. Typical's touch is only into the centre. It's good for Firstkiller. KV1, but look at the pace from him. He's a player that started a bit slowly at the start of this tournament, but he's improved so much. That one might be going straight in off the post, off the crossbar.
Oh, my word.
Finally away from Typical. FaZe get away with it, but now there's Lost. It's saved again. FaZe having to do so much defense.
The clutch defense of that as well. The double save coming in from AJ. Nearly actually sent it in on that first one, but it is all forgiven as we stay at 1-1 with 1 minute 10 left. An attack coming down though. Astromech and Lost trying to link up in the midfield. KV1 to take on the initiative, sending it back towards Firstkiller. Sent on its way onto the back board. Astromech again onto the right wall. Chance for Firstkiller to shoot, but Lost saving that one and continuing on the counter attack.
Astromech's going to come in. Lost is to his right, but will he try and pick him out? Suddenly there's less than a minute left. This first game is absolutely flown by, and we're in a position where a goal here would be absolutely massive for either team. Astromech gets a decent touch. He gets a flip reset as well. Won't be able to follow this one, but KV1 will. A second touch is huge. Astromech, riding the flip reset earlier, finds himself in the right position.
The top left is left completely unblocked as AJ, Typical, Firstkiller, all fancy a bite of that cherry. Astromech to swipe across the net and let that red dragon out of its cage.
Lovely to see Lost. That double tap, absolutely huge there. It was KV1, Astromech now. It's decent kick-off for FaZe Clan, though. Firstkiller, he's got boost, he's got a double tap. He can't quite get that one on target. He can, but it's just over. Another shot follows up. Lost is there against AJ. Typical slows it down. I love that split second of composure.
Great idea from Typical. He knew that the club had to dive at that ball. They've both gone as well. He just has to slow it there, let Lost and Astromech take gravity right to the ground, and then he can send it above the gap where they have opened it up. 26 seconds left. Game number 1, we've already seen it 2 goals apiece.
The last kickoff was good for FaZe Clan, but that one has been lost by the club on purpose, and now here is Lost. In the air with some boost, but he's met by Firstkiller. Good following touch from KV1. It's blocked down. Astromech would love to get a clean touch here. Now, how good is his dunk game? Quite there. AJ has a bit of control, but the club continue to attack so very quickly, not letting FaZe Clan have a split second on the ball. Astromech, he goes for the shot. Firstkiller will be able to get that one away. We're now at 0 seconds territory. Will it be overtime or last second dramatics? It will be overtime to open the day and open the series.
FaZe and the club wanting to start this game off strong in the series. They need it to go their way because FaZe, they're wanting to prove that they are better than just that third, fourth spot, but lost. My word. This entire competition, the wildcard experience this team has had, it's doing them absolute wonders. Chance again, AJ, the saviour of the series thus far.
Oh, lovely pass though there towards Lost. Typical was aware. Astromech will keep the attack going, will he, unless Firstkiller can beat him. It's a clearance, but all it is a boom back, which the club will just use to attack straight back. He's Lost. Touch up to the centre. Good touch as well. They're going high. They're trying to use the most of FaZe Clan's boost reserves.
Oh.
They've left it all. Now Firstkiller can go forwards. Definitely the club with the boost advantage at the moment.
AJ going high with that ball, though, wanting to try and starve out that boost where he can. Potentially inadvisable, but Lost missing that ball. Pinched onto the left-hand side. Lost can follow, but not before AJ fancies another touch on that ball, or strumming onto the ceiling. Self-pass potentially until it is shut down by Typical. Technically a save, a generous one, but still the defense staying strong. Lost though, an opportunity blocked again by FaZe.
FaZe Clan playing this counter-attacking game right now, allowing the club to come deep into their territory. And the attacks that Roldis and his team have been working on. Will it pay dividends? Had to work hard to even get it to overtime. Typical can win it, but Lost and Astromic. It was Lost that got the save. Astromic, does he have enough boost to clear this one away? He does. AJ has to scamper back. He just about did. The club coming forward again.
I love that positioning from AJ. Going back into the own half, knowing that a long shot can come in. If that gets intercepted, that goal is coming. Brilliant block from him.
AJ slows it down. Brilliant play from AJ. Had no boost there. Knew that he would just be challenged had he cleared the ball. And that would have allowed the club to come back. So just bought a few seconds for his team. Now they have the boost. Now they can use it. The redirect is from that place. Typical onto the back. He gets it from it. The in-and-out save. Clears it again.
The man with the experience showing up when he is needed. The in-and-out save is vital. Pitched along again. But Typical sitting back. Goes for the self-pass with 100 boost. He can do a lot of damage here. But instead just passed it over to Astromic. 2 minutes in the overtime. A lot of mixed-up pressure. Neither team really having a massive advantage, so far.
Yeah, FaZe Clan are just starting to get a little bit more of the ball now, which will be worrying for the club. Can they make the most of it? First killer. Trying to do his best Justin impression from his first goal in the series yesterday. An absolute beauty. He's going to put that one on target. It's completely open. Where's the FaZe Clan defense gone? The club take game one.
After so much praise through this first game. Just no defender back. AJ was removed from the pitch.
Lost
Forks back in. That demo, getting the club game number one. Brilliant, brilliant movement from them.
Lovely to see Astromic at the front of his two teammates there. You know, the man who, as I was saying earlier, has been moving back and back in the pitch. Now he's getting the fitness that he got that opening goal for his team. He really made it so the pressure was off them. When they take that lead, they start to believe. And the overtime, I mean, I love seeing players play in front of the ball, going for those demos. And FaZe Clan, they didn't have an answer. It happened so quickly where suddenly their defense has just completely disappeared. The club have a deserved game one.
But I love the defense for most of that game, and that's what makes it so frustrating. We saw where AJ was moving time and time again, where it was slowed down on certain shots when it was coming in, and there was a lot of intelligence that was praised from AJ earlier on in the day. And yet, at the end, where it mattered, they just were in the wrong place, wrong time, Lost taking full advantage. The club 1-0 in the series so far.
Well, you talk about taking full advantage, and it is the club who had to run the gauntlet in the Swiss.
Yep.
All 5 series they went to, ended up beating 0-1 Esports 4-1 in the end. And I think that was the expected result by that point. At the beginning, we wouldn't really have been able to make a decent claim for either of them, because neither had made it to majors as the trio that they are. But now we're seeing the club. They're just starting to pull away from some of these other teams, and it's from that experience that they had in the Swiss.
Yeah, the experience from that wildcard. We were all kind of theorizing as to what that could lend for these teams. They've already been on this stage. They've played 5 series on this stage. The only issue is they are yet to beat North America, as we said, and they're coming up against the second best team in North America, only beaten out by G2 in the point standings. The club, they want to just try and secure their place alongside Furia as one of the best teams in the region.
I mean, apart from London, FaZe Clan have been remarkably consistent at that semi-final stage. It even became a little bit of a meme that they would finish 4th, they would finish 3rd. They did get their regional victory in spring, but of course they want to do it on this big stage. And that consistency, though, is where they'll be able to look to in a series like this, which is tough. You know, they don't really go out before the last 10 in a tournament.
Yeah.
So surely they'll be thinking, against the club, we will ramp up, we will get better, and we will win.
Yeah, spring, if people have only seen them in that, they might think, oh, okay, they're a 9th to 12th team. No, that was 100% an anomaly. They were not playing well. They did not manage to figure out what it was that they needed to do. And I'm sure that those replays have been scoured hard by Roldis, their brand new coach, being able to work out of those issues. So, FaZe Clan, we're hoping that they're going to be able to return to their literally every other event performance.
Well, that was going to go over the top of Typical. Maybe one just flicks it up towards Lost. Lost going to get the second touch against AJ. He can, while it goes underneath him. No touch is required. Now first kill is in a slightly difficult position. Lost almost gets in his teammate's way, but the communication was good, and the club have an attack to play with.
And a lot of boost being burned, my issue there for club. It didn't really go anywhere. He just sort of stayed in that corner, 2 players committing. Again, another miss. KP1 only on 4 boosts, and now they're down to 20 between all of them on 0 for a second there. And now FaZe Clan can continue and with this counter-attack.
Yeah, FaZe Clan just had to wait for the club attack to run out of steam. And they did so well. They're not looking shaky. FaZe Clan can do that, especially defensively. They can rush into things and leave themselves completely isolated in defense. We're not seeing any signs of that. Every goal the club's working for. Oh. In the last game, that one's a good save from the side for FaZe Clan. Club's starting to warm up.
Good chance for a pass to come in central there again, but the club low on boost. They're burning through a lot of it with not much effect. Shot top corner, saved away by Astromic that time, but FaZe Clan, will they continue a big press themselves?
Astromic is really up for this one. In that first game, you know, as I was saying, he was playing as their furthest player forward at times, and it's been a while. Here he's pre-jumping, really trying to put the pressure on FaZe Clan when they're attacking. Here he is again. Every touch he's making is super clean. Look at the speed from Astromic, setting up KV1. No. Getting a split reset over the top. He gets a second touch as well. Brilliance from the club. 2 of them involved.
KV1, the killer. Receiving it in the midfield and onto that flip reset. He had near 0 boost. Ends it with 0. But tipping it over the top and below the crossbar, that is just what KV1 does.
Oh, that is a stunning, stunning goal. The fact that the pass came across, KV1 knew exactly what to do. But it comes from the spearhead of the attack in this series, at least in Astromic. Astromic's underneath this one. He's going to go for it now. He rotates out, has no boost. And now FaZe Clan can come forward. Lost. He's going to get it past First Killer. He's barely been involved in this game, First Killer. He's the ball. Astromic's getting over the top of AJ again. Typical was there.
First Killer is always the man that I look to change what the fate of FaZe Clan is going to be, because I just don't really expect the others to have those issues. You know, I always kind of think that AJ and Typical are able to get a couple of those chances, but when First Killer plays selflessly, that is when FaZe Clan do their best work, where he passes, where he goes through bumps and demos, where he does not need to be the man at the front. That is where FaZe Clan thrive.
Typical's going to get that one over the top. Get it into the corner and really put an attack on. First Killer there, he's following out. And pick reset, no, it's the edgeable instead. Astromic, yet again. What a performance from him so far, from their leader.
I mean, the defense from the club has been stunning throughout this entire competition. They are one of the statistical leaders in the defensive region. FaZe Clan, they are one of the leaders in the offensive region. This should have gone the way potentially of SSG Dignitas, where the offense beats the defense. However, seeming potentially, you know, it's a bit more the other way of the defense winning out. That ball going nice and low for Typical. Chance is starting to apparate for FaZe.
Yeah, they're appearing there. First Killer is really trying to drive the stake in, but still the club managed to escape. These air dribbles, their best way out of their own half right now. Astromic just waits, bides his time, actually allows First Killer in. Has to stand tall now for the challenge. 1 minute left. FaZe Clan really starting to turn this through. One touch is all they need, and eventually they break through.
Fantastic fake from Seb here. From AJ rather, leaves it for Typical, just bows away from that ball. Lets it fly past, and the FaZe Clan again with an equalizer towards the end of the game. They need to ramp it up earlier on if they want to stay consistent.
Last time there was a late goal, FaZe Clan then scored from the resulting kickoff, and they've won this one again. Typical has boost. He's charging forward. The club have to stand up so tall. That challenge in the air is going to fall to Astromic, who clears it long.
FaZe Clan yet to score first. The club taking that lead both times in the game. The shot again! KV1 with the double.
KV1 his second goal of the game. The first was brilliant to the mechanics. The second one, hit it hard, hit it accurately, get it past those FaZe Clan defenders, give your team the lead in game 2. Wow. What a performance this has been so far from the club. Everything they would have wanted coming into this series, everything they've learned so far. But they have to survive from the kickoff. Again, it's won by FaZe Clan. Again, it goes to Typical. They need to keep an eye on this, the club, because they're losing every single one, and FaZe Clan will score from it, as they showed in the last game.
Holding on for the last 30 seconds. Astromic has to work his way down this left-hand wing. Typical lands awkwardly, instead can't go to the sky for it. KV1 to shoot on target, but held handily. Finds First Killer on that goal line. Fakes out one, dribbles round the next with 50 boost. He can whip it wide. Will the three play come off? It is First Killer. Of course it does.
How do you defend against this? You're watching, you're trying to keep an eye on which way is juking, which way is going, and then you get slammed into in your own goal by AJ. FaZe Clan, the kings of the late comeback. They've done this time and time again throughout the season. You can never count them out. especially on the big stage.
First killer is so clutch when he needs
Another
to be.
win.
And again, the chance where they're just able to rely on him. He is so vital to this team's success. Astronomy, though, flicking high. It's difficult is able to clear this in the defense onto the ceiling, but nobody able to challenge him. Wait and see where this ball comes from. First killer, brilliant yet again. Typical calling him onto that ball. They can get it to the ground, and another overtime.
Yeah, the second in a row. The first one lasted 3 minutes or so. Let's see if this one is as long. Once again, though, the kickoff won by FaZe Clan. It just continues to happen. But the club have done well. There's almost a fake there from KV1. In follows Lost. It's another huge finish. The club, right now, are winning the overtimes.
Aquadome is theirs. KV1 faking out, showing that he can do it just as well as AJ can, and to the same effect. 2-0 for the club over FaZe Clan, a team that are yet to beat anybody in North America.
Wow, the club. Wow, the club, the crowd. Their fans here are starting to believe in them. There was a huge cheer for Astromic before it started. That finish there. Just smashing it home. Now, Stumpy, you and I,
hello.
We always talk about a little something, I believe a term that we've coined, winner's tilt.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that right here.
Winner's tilt is the phenomenon where you will be winning a series after playing incredibly well, and then you just end up getting in your own head thinking, okay, now we need to be more defensive or we need to be more offensive. You change your game style to win the upcoming games. But that is the issue in of itself. That is when the other team can come in, maybe their playstyle is then more dominant, you win, and then you don't do as well afterwards. And we can confirm that after going 2-0 down, FaZe Clan have called today's first overtime.
Yeah,
overtime? Timeout.
The first overtime, yeah, no, it'll be today's
second overtime.
Third overtime. But yeah, no, it's an intriguing time in this series because both games have been won by the club, of course, but they were both overtimes. So is the FaZe Clan game plan not working? Or is it just, you know, bad luck of the draw in these OTs?
And other questions Roldis will be asking himself and of his players. This is where he earns his money. This is where he proves his level as a coach. He has to talk them out of the rut that FaZe Clan have found themselves in, either reminding them of what happened in spring or keeping their heads clear away from that, whichever will motivate them. He will know what that is. And a lot of support coming from the crowd, wanting their teams to do well. I love hearing the rivalry going on too.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe Clan as ever, they're looking calm. They're trying to stay as relaxed as possible up in that stage, you know. Often they can be players that aren't up there, they're not screaming, they're not huge fist bumps. It's just, nice shot, good play. You just scored a weldy. Good job, mate. You know, they need to keep that composure right here. I feel like the club, they're a team that they need to try and ride the wave a bit more because, you know, as soon as they start to defend and think, oh, goodness me, we might actually be about to win this series, if they do start doing that, Astromic in particular is a player that's really stood out to me as closing them down quickly, something that we've seen from Lost throughout the final split and throughout the Swiss there. He was the one who was chasing. I really hope that Astromic continues to do so and doesn't step back and try to be that third man again because I think they're shocking FaZe Clan. I think they're surprising them. I think FaZe Clan weren't expecting them to be this aggressive against them. I think FaZe Clan were expecting them to pay them more respect, perhaps. And I think they were also expecting them to be just that little bit slower. The club, you're not going to be slow. FaZe Clan have to up their speed. They have to up their mechanics. And I feel like they just need a couple of goals, even if they're bad goals, just something to give them a bit of momentum.
But when will teams start to respect South American Rocket League teams? This happens time and time again. They don't necessarily realize what they are capable of. And yes, the club have gone 2-0 up versus FaZe on our first series of the day. You need to give them the credence that they are wrestling from your hands.
FaZe Clan come into this one after a tactical timeout, and they are normally won by the team that takes them over half throughout the season, but at this World Championship, 6 of 8 have been lost by the tactical timeouters, and that was almost lost. They got the early goal again for the club. They've started this game better, trying to make the most of that FaZe Clan attack, maybe a more counter-attacking style from the club.
Love seeing a demo come in, a couple of bums wanting to remove FaZe Clan. When they tilt, or when you start to tilt a team, it can go hard. An air drill bump attempts coming in as well. The 1, 2, 3, it is devastation.
They are so fast-paced in attack. Look, Lost is there, and they are steaming forward. KV1 is just tracking this ball completely, and Astromic, he's there as well. The 1, 2, 3 from the club, the lead from the club in this third game.
Charging like a trident, and FaZe Clan are drowning under that pressure.
Astromic has lost the kickoff again to FaZe Clan. They keep winning this one. The club have to deal with this because you cannot give First Killer 100 boost and allow him to just air dribble over the top of you. He will break through your defenses at some point. So far, apart from that first game, as that massive pinch comes in, they've been able to deal with the resulting pressure most times, but it's really, to me, something they have to change.
I mentioned earlier on that First Killer is always the guy that I look at. He's always the one where I think if change is going to come out of FaZe Clan, it has to come via him. I wonder if that is what they've decided as a team as well. First, you know, either you need to be past the ball more, or even you need to be off the ball more. Just something to make him a more unique player in what is otherwise a very messy and very confused-looking FaZe.
Yeah, they're sort of challenge heavy at the moment, but you do want to see First Killer just do what he did right there on that wall as two club players start to tread on each other's toes. You stay a little bit calm. For all our talk about not turtling up, you also have to make sure you don't get carried away in attack. Wow, Lost is just dancing through them in slow motion almost. FaZe Clan players flinging themselves around everywhere. They do manage to clear it, but the club have decent boost levels and should be able to defend.
The club so far taking a little bit longer to get their second goal, but they did incredibly well in that second game to just hold on to the game for a little while until the final minute. There's still two more before we get to that point. KV1 can go low with that ball. He has been impressing everybody with his 1v1s whenever Johnny Boy has been doing any of his streams. Beating out Jorias. He has been grinding every single day we've seen him here.
Yeah, the question has always been for him, can he translate into threes? We're seeing he can here. More FaZe Clan pressure comes on. They're just going for these solo plays. Maybe you want to see some more passes from FaZe Clan. The ball's going to fall for him. He's going for the quick shot. Again, he's trying to tee himself up. It does fall to typical. AJ's there. And the passing play is what breaks the club down.
An incredibly unusual touch here. AJ going so far in the corner that Astromic Lost and KV1 all think, oh my god, wait, we have to be able to go on that. We weren't expecting it. That then leaves it open for Typical to pass and AJ to be in the center to receive the ball in the end. I adore that play from FaZe.
I think First Killer, I was watching his player come after that goal went in, and he just sort of set up. It looked like that was the beginning of something for FaZe Clan, based just from their body language. Will it come to fruition on the pitch? Typical's touch is a little bit heavy. Astromic just boots it away. AJ again, a lovely pass. FaZe Clan definitely trying to find each other now after a tricky start going so.
Chance for Lost to get that ball central, but AJ instead is the one to be picking it up. First Killer passing to us, Typical in the blind spot. FaZe Clan with the lead.
I don't know about you guys, but I had no idea that Typical was there. I was just about to say, Astromic will be able to get it. And then there he is. It's old school redirect vibes. There's a lot on the pitch right there. 2-1 FaZe Clan. It seemed like the start of something, and it's continuing to look that way.
That is very good ingenuity from FaZe. Something different, something new. That's what they need. Otherwise, the side in blue is going to be the victor.
KV1 is charged down by First Killer there. First Killer just waits, tries to get it to his teammates as he always flashed across the face of goal. Agonizing there for FaZe, so near to the third goal. Looking more like themselves now. That demo could open things up though from Lost on Typical. First Killer's in his own goal, has to be careful. Gets it down towards Typical. The transition from FaZe, much improved right now, but Lost, they've got the mechanics. He's been their MVP this entire split. Can't forget the double tap. KV1's coming in. AJ almost bounced that one towards his own goal.
Astromic as well on the floor underneath KV1. A double commit. If that went past him, that was going to be a goal. It would have been two for the club to chase, but instead they keep it at just the 1 goal deficit, wanting to finish that below the attacking player. The club trailing. A rare moment for them to be trailing.
There's a really interesting shape to this game right now. FaZe Clan focusing on those passes, as in the club are focusing more on demos and bumps, trying to get them out of the passing lanes. Will it work for them? First Killer solo again. He's so dangerous in these positions. Allows AJ in. That's a good read though from Astromic, I think it was. And now Lost can take it forward. Has two FaZe Clan players, both retreating to goal in front of him. Wants to bump First Killer out the air again. The club are really trying to spot those plays.
Lost onto the ceiling, and again another touch. AJ is able to block it away, and Typical the one to pick it up. With 50 seconds, First Killer booms it down the right-hand side of the pitch, and is then stomped on. Is not able to go up for that aerial. Turns that around with Lost and KV1 hanging out together. Goes low. The bump from Astromic. The second touch. But First Killer can intercept. We approach 30 seconds, and FaZe Clan, in the current trajectory, will be taking the game.
Yeah, but it's nervy. It's so scary. We have had late equalizers from FaZe Clan in both games. Was AJ a bit too far back, the backboard again, the boost is starved, the misses are coming in, Lost is free jumping, it's not going to happen. Typical doubles FaZe Clan's lead, it's 3-1 with not much time left.
A suffocating Typical draws that bag over the head of the club, and 2 goals now separating the sides. Lost, he just had to jump and pray, but his God was not there for him this time. 23 seconds, FaZe Clan with a 2-goal lead.
Especially as the kickoffs have been going FaZe Clan's way, you would expect them to be able to steal this one away, but that was a win for the club. Astromic is there and he's got boost as well. Can he pinch it in? Oh, he just had to get some height, and it could have been.
Potential chance there to get that near equaliser. A couple of bumps coming in as well on First Killer.
FaZe looking a little bit rattled in their net, but holding incredibly strong. And game number 3 will be going their way. No fourth goal, but the game win is all they were after.
They really changed everything about themselves, FaZe Clan, after going behind in that game. And it worked for them incredibly well. They looked more like the FaZe Clan we have come to expect. First Killer was getting so many touches of the ball. You can see his multiple versions of his face there in the crowd. Love that. Those are some high-quality printouts.
We got FaZe Clan.
Yep.
I think that was FaZe Clan.
Nice. That's good there.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, FaZe Clan, the passing play is working for them. The First Killer, he does seem to be waking up.
Yeah, he does. And I can't keep harping on about him. But he is one of the greatest players North America has ever seen. There are some moments where you look and you think, there's more that you can be doing. And I think that that is something that maybe inspires him, where he thinks to himself, you know what, I can either be that first guy.
Look at the reaction from the crowd. Lots of shocked gasps. And I can tell you, my friends, my reaction was exactly the same. Hand to the mouth. Where does Typical come from? What was he doing there? And that's the FaZe Clan effect. You know, they do things that other teams wouldn't expect. They do things that other teams wouldn't even dream about. Most players would be rotating right back there, trying to keep the pressure on and getting boost. But FaZe are always searching desperately for that next goal.
I love to see First Killer without a goal as well. He has the assists, he has the saves, he has the shots. But no goal to me implies that he has taken the assistive role on his shoulders. And when he does that, FaZe Clan look terrifying. They win that game in our first non-overtime, and it's a huge thing with FaZe to come out after their timeout too.
They come into Utopia with a lot of momentum behind them. And now suddenly it's all eyes on the club. Can you change that? Because lots of teams in North America as well, they struggle to deal with FaZe Clan when they do get that little bit of belief behind them. Typical's there closing it down, but a huge challenge from Lost will go just wide. Can they make anything from this resultant attack?
Oh, a lot of power on that shot coming from KV1. With AJ getting the save, the FaZe Clan counter-attack can continue, and Typical are nearly for that triple, but instead it just pinches from the crossbar down on the ground and straight back out again.
So near so far for FaZe Clan for taking the lead. But I believe the first time in the series, as Astromic pinches it long. Huge clearances from the club. Seems to be the order of the day. Will they be able to slow it down? That's a great first touch from KV1, the 1v1er. His flick isn't the best, and he tries to take out First Killer, doesn't manage to do it. So First Killer can help out Typical. First Killer and Typical can get this ball into the corner, then First Killer can follow through. First Killer, First Killer, First Killer. Everywhere on the pitch right now for FaZe Clan. Here he is again, coming from the side, desperate for the ball. This guy's he goes, but he has lost it to Lost. First touch. He gets some lovely first touches in this game.
Yeah, brilliant first touch from Typical, but with no boost, he just gets challenged and it falls into AJ. The back left corner, the mid-boost is beckoning for him, but instead it's picked up by his teammate. Typical now using that 100 boost he just stole from AJ. Fakes out being low and continues on. It's Typical. We've been wanting a lot from him for quite a long time, and it looks to me like he is really starting to find that gear.
KV1 wants to charge down Typical here, gets the good read as well. Good effort, but the ball's just going to drift towards the center where FaZe Clan will launch another attack. There, good first touch. Does he have the dodge? He does. It's almost underneath the Astromic. FaZe Clan starting to look like the better team here. First Killer closes it down again, gets the extra touch. That extra touch is all they need to give FaZe the lead.
First Killer, the man on the sideline, knows when that ball has to go. Feed AJ and you will succeed. That movement as well, he just glided on the back wall, then jumps out immediately to pass it. No second thoughts, he knows where his teammate was. And this symbiotic relationship is paying dividends until the hive mind breaks down.
Let's just see what happened right here. Typical just missed dodges. Interesting, very interesting. There's looks around.
I think that was
from that.
I believe that was an attempt on a fake kickoff.
Yeah.
Or there was an issue from Typical. He turns away. We're going to try and resolve this issue as soon as we can. Let's make sure that everyone is nice and happy, but I really tried to give them the benefit of the doubt there. Fake kickoff question mark? No. Sometimes just tech issues do happen, so we're going to figure that one out. But I really like seeing this level of FaZe Clan right now, where they have the passes, they have these attacks, they're trying to make something from every single position they find themselves in, and it all, as ever, on FaZe Clan, boils back down to FK.
I mean, they said in the interview, AJ said in his pre-match interview, they are feeling as happy as they've ever felt. Certainly coming into this with confidence, as you would expect from FaZe Clan, that's usual for them, but now in this series, they're starting to show how that confidence can actually change things after struggling at the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
And you lose 2 overtimes, it can be so tempting to lose your head. it can happen. It has happened throughout to various different teams. FaZe Clan have done really well, and that'll be Rollers in their ears helping as well, to not fall into that trap. Now they have to finish the job. I mean, we're still not sure if that goal will count. There's a tech error. Maybe it will be removed, but that's up to our lovely admins to see. And it's just like, where does the club go from here, especially if that goal doesn't count for them, because that would have given them such a hype.
We have a FaZe fan in the audience saying FaZe up. A lot of the FaZe hand signals that we're seeing flashing the lovely black and red kit that they have got over on FaZe Clan. A lot of FaZe Clan hand signals in the crowd too.
Yeah.
Clearly the home favourite, but the club, I don't think they're going to be caring about that too much. They want to get, as I keep saying, their first North American dub.
Just to keep everybody in the loop, the admins are currently reviewing the footage to see whether the goal should stand. So it's a tense time right now on the stage. And of course, this brings with it its own set of question marks, because these things happen. You know, this is esports. They are ultimately playing on computers. It's binary. You know, things are going to go slightly wrong, and you have to be able to deal with that one on a human level. Whether the goal is given, whether the goal isn't given, how do you then play for the next 3 minutes and 7 seconds of this match? It's a long time, even if you aren't going into it equal at 1-1. So the coaches become so very important. The players' natural composure and their dynamic, you know, who's leading the charge, who's stay calm, who's hyping people up. All of that now becomes a huge factor.
You can also treat this as a bit of a free timeout.
Yeah.
You know, the only issue is you don't know how long it's going to take. You don't know, okay, is this a 20-second fix? Is this a 2, 3, 4-minute fix? And those conversations have to be had where you keep yourselves warm. You are still ultimately in the game. You cannot free play from this point. You're in the game, you're waiting. There's no keeping warm that you can do, just trying to figure out what is going on in this game right now. But yeah, these conversations are something that, you know, I think we need to be considering when looking at these moments. The game's coming up today, bear in mind, it's not the only one. We are in Group B. We've got FaZe Clan versus the club right now. Coming up later, we've got Falcons versus Dignitas, G2 versus Optic, and to see some European representation, Furia versus Carmine Corp. I've seen a lot of fans from all of those teams all around the arena today. A lot of Carmine Corp fans especially, and a couple of Green Walls fans, which I've liked seeing, so a lot of fanatics coming through.
Yeah, and we also had a guy in the crowd who was having a whiff counter. Not sure how accurate that thing is.
Does that count for us if we misspeak?
Oh, goodness. I mean, there were quite a lot of tallies on there, so
then, yeah.
I think it may well do, which is worrying. We'll have a look at that later and see if it's actually being updated.
Cross them out.
I think you made a really good point about how the club in particular can treat this as a free timeout. It's an odd balance because they're the ones who want the break. FaZe Clan are the ones who will be happy that the goal might not be given. So the club can just use this time. Look, yeah, drink a
smiling
tea or coffee. English tea, maybe. Good cup of milky tea.
I thought you said just a cup of milk. What an insane thing to drink during a competition.
That would be odd.
But yeah, look, they're clearly laughing. They're smiling. They're making sure that everyone is happy. They're keeping the vibes up because that is so important mentally. Roll Diz has 2 hands on those headphones. They do just stay on your head, mate. You don't need to hold them the entire time. You're fine. Don't worry.
Hasn't quite learned that one yet. But yeah, I feel like AJ, it's nice to see him getting so involved in the scoring as well, because he is a player whose head can drop slightly, especially when he's surrounded by Typical in first kill. It's such brilliance on the pitch that he shares that when his mechanics start to go and his confidence starts to go, he can just slow down a little bit. So the more times you see goals next to him on the scoreboard, that tends to me to be when FaZe Clan are playing well. And I have loved, as you mentioned, Stumpy, seeing first killer get so many assists.
Brilliant.
Because his mechanics are capable of breaking down defenses, but that's not always in the sense of scoring a goal. It can just be getting it over the top of one more player. The assist that you got earlier on in this game was an absolute beaut, might I add. That just extra little touch, dodging into the ball faster than anybody from the club expected him to be able to do. And there was AJ. The comms are good for FaZe Clan, the vibes are good for FaZe Clan, but so too, the same for the club.
When you were talking about FaZe Clan a second ago with Typical as well, we have seen a lot of moments from him where we question his ability and the level that he can really reach to meet First Killer and also AJ, where FaZe, they're meant to be the North American super team. These are the 3 theoretical best players in the region who are going to be able to out-mechanic any situation that they find themselves in. I don't believe we've really ever seen that, personally. I think that there's been moments that are close. I don't think we have ever seen FaZe Clan get to 100%. There's always been something holding them back, whether they're all trying to be the first man, which I always have mechanic days. I truly believe we have never seen them at their full potential. And that's why we've only seen them get to 3rd or 4th at their best. On average, their placement is 4th overall across the entire season so far. All regionals, including their spring major, big old meltdown that they fancied having. 4th.
Yeah.
This is a team better than 4th, and they know that very, very accurately.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of... You talk about how we've never seen the 100% FaZe Clan playing at the complete best of their ability, and this team dynamic may well be that. Having First Killer as the enabler just brings his teammates into it so much more. I'm not getting any sense right now that these players are all going to charge at the same ball. There was one what I thought was an overcommit in game number 1. I think it was in the overtime, and it turns out that Lost had been getting up a vacuum cleaner, sweeping them all up with some demos to make sure that they weren't able to defend. So I was actually a bit unfair on FaZe Clan at that point. They have shown real balance to their squad, especially when they're 2 games down, and that's when you start to want to charge at the ball, to take everything solo, to get yourself involved in the game as much as possible. FaZe Clan avoiding all of this is everything.
Yeah. The club have had a lot more time to think in this series than I think they thought they would have done. They got a sudden goal off kickoff. They don't quite know what was happening. They're just being fed the information live, just as we are. It looks like we're going to be getting back into the game, hopefully relatively soon. They're just reviewing what should be happening with that goal. But otherwise, it is the club who have had a good bit of time to think, a while to ruminate on their thoughts.
So we do have the decision. The goal will not stand. Typical's controller is adjudged to have been disconnected for that kickoff. It'll be 1-0 FaZe Clan with 3 minutes and 9 seconds left. I repeat, it'll be 1-0 FaZe Clan, 3:09 left on the board when we get back in. And I think that's completely fair. Clearly, the way Typical played that, something DC'd. We play on. We've just had that lovely first killer touch. AJ prodded it home. It's 1-0 FaZe Clan. Woo! And now we can almost...
Oh, that woo was so convincing. That was awesome.
Are you convinced?
I'm so hyped for this now.
Nice.
I've been hyped the entire time. 3 minutes 9, and it's, you know, after the club having that amount of time where they can think, they can really figure out what it was they need to do, it really can go one of 2 ways on that. Either they've got in their own heads, they think, oh my gosh, we are 2-1 up against FaZe Clan, oh my gosh, maybe we can do this. Or they're thinking, oh yeah, no, that's fine. Like, we knew that we could get here, we knew that we can do that. We can now just refine how we did well in those first 2 games, because ultimately, they let one slip. They now need to charge down on this kickoff as confident as they were after those first 2.
I think, yeah, as I was saying earlier, the fact that FaZe didn't want this timeout when they have been having so much momentum, and the club can use the timeout to sort of regain themselves, have it as a free timeout, as you say, but they've lost their goal. It's actually one of the more balanced admin pauses that we've had. Both teams will have reason to be frustrated and reason to be happy. We are so close to getting back into this one. We are currently watching the RLCS referee just create the lobby, so it shouldn't be too much longer now as we get back into it very, very soon.
So FaZe that entire time would have been talking about the goal and trying to figure out what it was that they were going to be doing going forwards. My question is, you know, obviously the club, they weren't doing that. They were only talking about their game, their series, how their game plan should be going forwards. With FaZe, I think that's actually a bit, that's a negative thing that has happened. Because now they have to go into this game having only spoken about a goal that now will not stand, whereas the club have had that timeout. It's competition, that happens, and FaZe Clan, they need to work around it as we restart game number 4 at 3 minutes 9.
Was AJ using that beautiful Octane decal the whole time? I'll ask in a second once Typical gets his flip reset, and it's just about saved by the club. I've got a feeling he's changed it to a flowery little number. Looks very beautiful there on the orange side.
That's a good idea for them to just, you know, maybe get a couple of those little resets in. Treat it as a bit of a new game, but they do have this lead. We're already at half-time. This game gone quicker than ever. Typical punting that one mid, but KV1 just about avoiding the bump from Typical as well. Lost to send down the left wing. First killer manages to work around Lost on the pre-flip. Touched high from Astromic. And on this kickoff, on the restart, it has just been FaZe Clan pressure.
Yeah, but now Astromic has the ball and he can charge down First Killer, who gets a perfect challenge. Not the second though, KV1 wins, but AJ goes him through, and now AJ has a chance to go solo himself. No, he doesn't. He passes instead to First Killer, who was there. Typical's arriving strongly in 2-0. But Astromic, where's he come from?
Again with the in and out save. He's had a couple of clutch ones on that, but KV1 isn't able to form it into a counter. Lost going central with it, but not too much happening. First Killer wanting to redirect, but sees that Astromic is there. Touches it just past him, again in the club blind spot.
KV1 up against Typical. Typical wants to get it underneath him, but KV1 won't allow that to happen. Then Lost almost beats AJ cleanly. AJ got half a touch, which meant the ball just balloons towards first killer, and that time AJ does win it cleanly.
Good fake.
Lovely fake there from KV1 to get to lost.
Yeah, I love that idea. Just going down with the ball, knowing that otherwise that was going into the ceiling. The FaZe Clan push could have continued, but instead, KV1 taking the full control of the ball on the ground, a lot safer, and a lot of improv happening on that side.
Lost trying to cause some havoc in FaZe Clan's corner. Gets the extra touch again from KV1. Just to get over the ball to put it down, not quite. But a good sign there for the club. Unbelievably, as you mentioned, Stumpy, this game going so quickly now. They are running out of time. This first killer almost gets the second double tap. Astromik has slowed down a little bit. He is looking more like the traditional third man for the club. That means that we need to see more from Lost, the MVP. KV1 into the center. Lost is there, and he can get the ball.
Just had enough boost, keep 6 in the tank. Now KV1 working out of that back corner as well with first killer on the left wing. Gets the flip reset, goes low versus Astromik. 40 seconds remaining. It really does just feel that there's a lot of pressure coming in from FaZe and not much on the side of the club. So Astromik takes it in his hands. One charge down the pitch, but as ever, he just falls back to first killer.
FaZe has had all the boost at the moment. Club can barely get hold of any. AJ to the ceiling, wants to go up against Lost. I mean, it's falling, but look how clean the win is there for Typical. Lost, a really important touch. Astromik, oh, the ball just didn't quite fall for him, but the counter can begin anyway.
Chance for Lost to go high on that, but first killer to the backboard can get it long. 100 boost grab for Lost. Astromik taking one touch, sees KV1 central. KV1 does get a touch, punts it wide. AJ unable to get that one. Instead opens in first killer. Astromik sees KV1 on the right-hand side. A demo comes in, Typical no longer present. Faking out.
Oh.
The idea was there, but the pace was not. FaZe Clan level up the series 2-all.
Slight gamble at the end there. He thought the game would bounce, or the ball would bounce, and the game would continue in 0-second time. But unfortunately for the club, the time just ticks to 0 seconds just before that ball hit the floor, and FaZe Clan can breathe a massive sigh of relief. They thought they conceded an equalizer. It wasn't to be, and now they have equalized the series. They have the momentum, and they have overall the better mechanics as well. FaZe Clan surely at this point huge favorites in this series.
Huge, I think, is big. I think they were the favorites coming in. The club did a fantastic job in the first couple of games to be able to, you know, secure them that win ultimately, the couple of wins rather. But I still feel like FaZe Clan, there's more that we can see. There's still messy rotations every now and then. They're winning 1-0, they're winning 3-1 was the biggest win we've seen so far. I always am wary to be hard on FaZe Clan. The only reason I am is because of what they can achieve. And I want them desperately to get to that level. I know that they can get to that level. I know they know. I know everybody in the world knows that they can get to that level. They just need to be able to find their stride. I am a big, big critic of this team. I love seeing it when it goes right, but I'm criticizing them when it goes wrong. We are starting to see it go very, very right for them. And the club, they need to get a handhold because they really are starting to slip.
Well, here's some hope for the club, Stumpy. Across the entirety of the 21-22 season, when a team has gone 2-0 up at a best of 7, they've won 90% of the time. So, statistically, the club now the favourites, but I guess now it's 2-all, not so much. Yeah, the club had a huge start to this series, but it was overtime victories. They had to grind them out and face. Look how cleanly they're making these passes. This is the points that are so important for the club, making the most. They do have clean touches. They haven't done that, and they've done the opposite. More defending to do. Lost just clears it long. And Astromik can get the next touch. Can he do something with it? He goes to the flip. First killer. What a save.
First with 100 boost, using it perfectly. Able to steer it away. And there was another faker me, and we're seeing a lot of aerial fakes coming in for the club so far, where all of them want to just throw the towel over the opponent's head, keep it interesting, keep it different and strange, make it utterly unpredictable on the push.
Astromik is playing on the front foot again, a lot more right now on Wasteland. Seems to have reverted to the start of the series that was working so well. Just to get involved. So KV want to be a little bit more defensive. Have any boost? Not yet, he just gets some. Waits for AJ, wants to get it past him. Lovely recovery from KV1. You can really see he's the one player in the team, the way he drifts around the pitch. His lands perfectly facing the ball. Now it's got a little bit even, and I think that's credit to the club. That's exactly what they need to do to get themselves back.
Good opportunity for Lost to try and just get something from AJ with a single defender back. You normally want to favour the attacker. More fun to do it instead of favouring the defender. A fake again from KV1, and coming in was Lost for a pouncing shot. Astromik holding firm against two FaZe Clan pros.
Lost is going to come forward again. First killer's touch is weak. Lost can be there, but here's one He's only as far as Phaja. Gets the next challenge. It's a good play from him in the end. And Astromic beats this next touch. What about that second hit right now from the club? They're getting the first ones. Then after it happens, they're allowing FaZe Clan in. First killer goes solo, wants to get the floor pinch, doesn't it? Falls to AJ. He's going to put this one away. Is he? Yes! Into the top right corner, past two club defenders. FaZe Clan have the lead.
The most highly trafficked part of that pitch was the top right. Where did AJ go? He can still squeeze it in. He is not bothered. Threads the needle precisely. FaZe Clan again with a 1-0 lead on nearly the exact same time they had previously in game number 4.
Lost should be able to get this boost, but first killer's first touch is brilliant. Who's following up? No, Typical is so far back. Lost. Almost gets it over AJ, then he's taken out the game. KD1 is going, wants the big pass first. Oh, there was a massive fake. The club get back in it.
First killer puts his hands on his head and says, how do I read that? How do I deal with this? But he sees Lost there, sees it's going to be awkward. And you know what I love that I saw on the camera from FaZe Clan? Roldis comes in, pats him on the shoulder, says, no, you're good. That was just a great shot. What are you going to do? It's 2v1. If you defended it, you're a god.
Yeah.
Sometimes those gods do bleed, and FaZe Clan, they do concede a goal from the club, and those fakes are proving to be wonderful to watch.
Lost is just circling here. He needs to get out quick. Because KD1's a little bit stuck back. It's happened quite a few times this game. I appreciate he's looking at the third man in the game, but I still want to see him getting forward. They're lingering underneath. Typical charging it down. Typical has passes in the center, but Astromic nips in. Gets it high. AJ's pass is weak. What can Lost do to take advantage of that?
Yeah, AJ realised it was weak and so could catch up with it. First killer on the ceiling, gets that flip back. Isn't able to do much with it though, and AJ waiting in the midfield. With Lost clearing towards the right wing, KD wants to go for an assault, but instead the ball just about runs past him. The mid boost falling to the club. 2 minutes left. Typical begins to push.
Lost needs to read Typical's touch here. Astromic helping him out. Typical having to do so much defending. FaZe Clan really turning it on now. KD1's touch, a nice one. First killer just waits. KD1 waits too. Stands his ground, fights, then gets over the top of Typical. This is danger now for FaZe Clan. Club coming in. KD1 to the corner. Touch again, only as far as KD1 is. Lost to be able to get in there and almost does. It's a chance maybe to jump over the top, but not quite threaded through to his Lost leader. So many not quite in this passive play for both teams. Will there be a finish at the end of it? It's Typical with the read. Lost wants to know if he should go in with no boost. He does in the end. I don't think he wanted to. Wanted his teammate coming in, but not to be again for the club.
Yeah, he desperately wanted to just not be the man on that play with no boost. He can't whip round, he can't do a power shot. All he can do is just try to get the 50, but instead it was one out by first killer with yet more fantastic defense from him, with Lost going towards that left wing to try and find it back to Astromic. The mid boost he does pick up, but the ball he does relinquish.
I think this passage of play favours the club though. It could go either way. It's end-to-end stuff. Both teams looking stretched. Both teams unsure when to attack. Defending well, it must be said. First killer, he breaks through that defense. AJ's up. Will he be able to get the shot on target? He can, but Astromic, he knew exactly where AJ was putting that one. AJ going for the top corner and not quite having the same success this time. Lost gets the late dodge. Typical just sees it to first killer. It is so tense on that pitch right now as Typical lobs another grenade forward.
Final 30 seconds, and Lost wants to try and end this before overtime starts with one flip reset. Onto the second, the third is not available. First killer again on that backboard, making a home for himself up there, with Astromic going towards the middle. Only Typical is there to receive. KV1 to bump, Lost to go into the skies. Two players on the backboard, this ball going high, along with every single member of FaZe Clan.
Astromic has Typical charging him down, has to dodge the dunk here and does. That's a huge clearance. He can chase it himself. Can he get the dunk on first killer? No, first killer's clearance is good. But it's going to end with club pressure. Lost has a pass towards him. Can he follow up and get the angle? No, KD1 is in front of his teammate. The club's so close. The third overtime in the series comes now.
And not I've got the kickoff again!
No way.
KV1 had one goal disallowed. And Typical feeling devastated yet again. The club in 3 seconds, they take it to series point.
I don't even know what to say. After the kickoff problems we had earlier, will there be another admin call? I've got no idea. I'm watching and waiting for this one. The club, as it stands right now, took that win in overtime. It seems that there was just a mishap in defense in the kickoff from FaZe Clan. FaZe are calling for the admin, so if anyone was just about to breathe a sigh of relief, don't just yet.
The kickoff certainly not going in favour of FaZe Clan there. We're going to be figuring out what exactly went on with this goal. Thus far, looking like it's going to stand, but we want to make sure that the competitive integrity is obviously all up in check. And the fact it was KV1 again, that is going to be potentially the beneficiary of this. It was only him going for that ball. If that's not an error for FaZe Clan,
I'll have to wait and see.
Then that is one of the worst kickoffs I've ever seen in my life. To be completely honest, that is a giga throw if I have ever seen one.
I feel like somewhere out there, Ronicky is watching this right now and praying that the goal is given so that people won't call him a Ronicky anymore. Yeah, precisely. I mean, yeah, it's a really intriguing time. It's difficult to know what to say here because we obviously do not know just yet. As you guys at home do not know just yet. As soon as we have any information, we'll share it with you. Lots of discussions to be had, lots of debate between admins and players. Certainly an interesting point of view.
What I do find interesting as well is whenever a goal goes in, I like to look at the player cams. I like to see how they react. I adore a good player cam. We're seeing a lot of animation out of FaZe generally, not just, you know, on those kickoffs where there are problems, but just like the fist bumps, the smiling, they are talking to each other, they are laughing and being a proper team almost. Like they are doing a fantastic job to keep each other in this series and keeping themselves focused. And those player cams, when they go off, they really go off, and FaZe Clan are doing a fantastic job of it. The club as well. We knew these boys were enthusiastic. We knew how well they could do. And potentially going up 3-2 in the series is a gigantic place for them to be. You said, what, 90% win rate for a team that goes 2-1 up? Fantastic.
I mean, it also has to be said that the club, this is arguably the biggest match of their career. It's one of the most pressure-filled moments that these players, these young men, will ever have had. And if you looked at them right now, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
They're still turning to each other, still playing with the little hand warmers, you know, doing whatever it takes to keep their brain not concentrating on just waiting for this decision and waiting for this moment. And I am remarkably impressed with them in that regard. And much, of course, has to be said to their coach as well, who's keeping them chill. But all they can do, just like us, is wait. All they can do is try to stay relaxed, try and stop those hands shaking, and know that they might be going back into this last game. They might be going into a opportunity to have 2 attempts at beating FaZe Clan to win this series. No matter what happens from here, that's just a gargantuan performance.
What a moment for the club that would be. They have come through after Furia managed to get enough points on their way by beating FaZe in London at the Spring Major. That is how the club got here, as the 3rd seed team from South America. And to do that again at Worlds, where they can prove that they are able to be here, is fantastic. They lost to SSG and V1 in the group stage, whereas they managed to take games versus Bravado and then 0-1 at the end, as well as KCP. They were just farming the other smaller regions, ones that aren't EU or NA. This is their biggest test yet, and they are on the way to passing with flying colours.
I mean, everybody talks about Team Secret, and in particular Fury, you know, who recently won that massive LAN game as being the reason that South America and Falcons of the Middle East are seen as now as good as Europe and North America. I don't even think that's up for discussion anymore. But what people don't tend to mention is the teams like the club that are pushing those who have qualified for LANs every step of the way. If there wasn't a club, would Fury be as good? Would Secret be as good? I think not. It's such an important part of sort of the mantra of how far these teams have come. They have been absolutely massive for Rocket League as a whole, Rocket League in their region as well. But again, right now, as I look at First Killer, looking very stoic, pensive, deep in concentration. None of that context matters. Nothing matters apart from what happens on the pitch in the rest of this series. All that they can do is play, sit down in their cars, tune everything else out, try and get the ball in the back of the net, just like they've been doing for 10,000 hours plus, many of these players. It's just exactly what you want to see.
We are going to be going to a quick break to figure this one out, as we do have to make sure that the competitive integrity is obviously completely okay at this level. So make sure, guys, you stick around and you'll be back after this break, where we will be resuming the club versus FaZe Clan.
side to side. We gon' make you lose, all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this, just for one more high. So baby, let's solve it tonight. We gon' make you move, from side to side. We gon' make you lose, all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this, just for one more. So baby, let's solve it tonight. Let me give Replaying your words there in my head. When you're not here, I'm stuck in bed. I'm starting to break. I'm starting to break. I'm starting to break down. Watch all of the bullets fall to the ground. You took a shot and I'm yours now. But I'm starting to break. I'm starting to break down, break down, break down, break down. Could be the one now.
I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't You were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, 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 hours I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, 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 hours I was. You were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, 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 hours I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the putting in the You said you're cool and that it's alright, but you're hiding something that don't feel right. You know life is better when we just talk.
Welcome back, everybody, and apologies for the delay, but a decision has been made.
We've had some developers review the logs for this game, and it was found that due to no fault of his own, Typical's boost input did not register, and so we will be continuing from Game 5 overtime, starting on 0 seconds on Wasteland. The series right now is currently drawn 2 apiece. It is 1-1 going into this overtime, and that is where we're going to be restarting from.
And that means that for these players, nothing that's happened up to this point matters anymore. They have to immediately go back into that game zone. You know, they have to put their headsets on, they have to really just get their minds back into it. They have to do it instantly. This is part and parcel of competition. We go to the overtime. There's been a delay. Here we go. Who's going to win the kickoff? It's Lost, and it's the club. And he pumps it forward. It might be going straight in anyway. First clear on AJ. They pinch it away.
A little bit of poetic justice as that one flies its way in after such a long break. But KV1, his chance to score is Typical, falling from that backboard. Now the 3-man push for FaZe Clan, an opportunity for them to be going back on that blue half. Chance lost, though, leaves that ball in favour of AJ taking control. KV1 to pick up, to dodge the demo, and then to be able to 50 it alongside First Kill. Lost, going for a long shot, but Typical, he is waiting back. That third-man positioning for FaZe has been extraordinary in this series so far.
That's got a lovely couple of touches, but KV1 just got the read on it, and KV1 is a player that's been heating up, simmering as this series has gone on. Pace from Lost, all defending right now from FaZe Clan. AJ, though, first touch, he follows it up. He might be able to win it for FaZe Clan, but it's saved away.
Astromic again, that goal line defense. He has been the saviour of the club so far. An opportunity for him maybe to have his name up in lights with a goal. Lost goes nearly above AJ instead of falls to KV1. The right-hand corner is going to be battered with Typical taking it to the sky on that right-hand wing. Yet more chances, yet more opportunities. Astromic whiffing on one. First Killer to go high. He has been huge this series so far, but waiting on the wall like a limpet was lost.
Huge clearances from the club, beating that ball away, hoping there will be a miss. And there wasn't from First Killer. That allows the club in. KV1's going to win this one. First Killer, oh my God, close to a redirect from Lost. He was up for that one, but couldn't quite connect.
We've seen those opportunities previously where Lost tries to swipe in to get a redirect. If he misses, they still get the goal. If he connects, there's still a very good chance they get the goal. The aerial fakes have been so big for the club so far through this series. Will they be continuing them even after that big pause?
Got boost for Astromic. Lovely first touch as well. The second not too bad either. The double there from AJ. Typical's on the backboard. First Killer is taking out Lost. Now Typical will have some space to play with due to that bump. Does go over the top. Loves the air dribbles, does Typical. KV1 gets it past him though. It's becoming even. The club started the overtime better. I had a feeling that if this one wasn't one on kickoff, it would last for a while, and that's exactly what we're seeing. KV1 almost sees that ball go over his head.
Yeah, good turnaround though from him. He's able to also pass it back to Lost, and so it doesn't even leave the half. Despite how threatening that ball started to look. Finally, it does. And Lost sends it straight back again into the orange side. First Killer wanting to get it towards Typical for that first shot, just wide of the goal this time. The club, this is now their area of pressure. They are carving an opportunity for a goal with the amount of pressure they're putting on the FaZe Clan goal.
Huge respect to the club. They're looking anything but tilted right now. In fact, they're refreshed, ready to get us back to the way things were looking in those first couple of games. Lost up against AJ. Lost and AJ continue. Bit of a rule 2 right there, but Lost rightly breaks it. AJ booms it. First Killer is there. He has double. First Killer, of course, will sink that all day long. FaZe Clan put themselves on match point.
3-2 in the series, and the man First Killer is the one to double it in. Nobody from the club is present to save it away.
Typical holds up his new controller with a smile as well, so he's starting to have some fun up there on the stage. FaZe Clan, they do go 3-2 up. And of course, First Killer, he is going to sink that as soon as he has that much time on the ball. His first touch, always flawless. His second one, the exact one they need to break club hearts. And the club now, it's a really tough position for them.
It's been such a tumultuous series for both of these sides where, you know, we have had a couple of tech errors. This was the second one that we just saw. And the fact that now we're seeing the club having to work back from that and FaZe Clan to keep their composure through that as well. It's so evenly hard on both sides of these competitors. It happens. Disconnects go on, and yet First Killer, no matter what, he has got the ice when he needs it.
And they're only one game away from winning their first series at these World Championships. It's understandable for a team like FaZe Clan starting a little bit slowly after not being part of that wildcard stage. Here they are now, and they have ramped it up.
And lest we forget, the first series of today. Been a big old day so far.
It has, it has.
Been finishing up by about 4 p.m. local time roughly thus far, so maybe this one will just be sneaking a little bit past and we're going to have to delay our dinner plans. But FaZe Clan, they want to shut it out now. They don't want to be going to 7.
What about you, mate? But I eat Rocket League for dinner. I don't need to eat food. This is what it's all about.
You really should.
Long days of Rocket League. Stromic thinks about closing that one down. We're here on Neo Tokyo, Stumpy. Can the club rally?
They definitely have been so far. They started off incredibly strong in this series, going up 2-0 to begin with, if anybody missed the start of this series. And the fact that, you know, you said that there was a 90% chance, or a 90% win rate, rather, for any team that goes 2-0 up in a series, FaZe Clan, they're wanting to be part of that unimaginable 10%.
Lost wants to take his time here, but instead just booms it. First killer. Ooh, he's a little bit early there, but of course turn it into some brilliance. Actually tees up Typical. The club didn't see it coming, and it is FaZe Clan that take the lead here on Game 6. It was first. He sucked the club in, and then he snapped it away towards Typical. Astromic had left the ball alone. Typical found himself completely all by himself in no man's land, and he pretty much couldn't miss.
Early lead for FaZe Clan, but interestingly about them, they are actually somehow the second worst win rate when they score first in this entire competition throughout the season. They will still probably win, but it's a weird one.
Well, there you go. Let's see if that plays into effect. Astromic is around the corner. That one's into the center. Lost is there, but first killer in defense is so good. Astromic touches it. The FaZe Clan defending is looking exactly what they need. It's back to the wall stuff, but they're managing to survive every single time. And then the club, they just don't quite have that incisive final touch. FaZe Clan, on the other hand, when they come forward, they're so dangerous.
Oh!
Sticks it. FaZe Clan 2 up.
The left-hand side saw the fake come in from first killer, where he goes up for it, leaves it away. Astromic is banking on that, and Lost in net sees Typical come out of nowhere.
It's good counter-attacking from FaZe Clan, but it's just a little bit messy from the club. Those touches that were so precise earlier now finding their way to FaZe Clan players. They have to figure it out quickly. They do still have time. A couple of goals in 3.5 minutes can certainly be done. AJ, does he want the second touch? He can't get it if he does. Falls to Typical. So many of these approaches from the club, they just don't have that third man coming in at the right time. And FaZe Clan are just swallowing up any attacks.
Astromic to flick high in the center on the right-hand side. Those Typical man reborn is able to get that pass off, but Lost instead receiving, wanting to shoot on the open net, tries to pinch it low, but first killer. Their defense is absurd.
How is he always there? First killer just gets his car in the way of everything, and then that's a shot for himself down the other side. That's a lovely fake, though, from Lost on Typical. How much will that open things up? Lost is going for an edge. Well, AJ up this time. First killer falling on his own goal line.
Oh, first killer, I think, did not believe in AJ to get that ball. He went up in anticipation of him missing. It's not led to anything, but if double commits like that do continue, especially on defense, you might find yourself in a bit of a sticky situation where two have gone. Typical trying to pass it back down to the ball benefactor of AJ.
Lost waits. Wants to use this moment at the perfect time. Again, the prod over the top. Just FaZe Clan aren't falling for these. But they need to mix up their approach. It's not happening for them. FaZe Clan in the center, playing at their best now. Surely seeing this one away.
FaZe are looking brilliant. They have got speed, they have got accuracy, they've got agility around the club, and they're running rings around a team that was earlier on just squeaking out these overtime wins. The club are looking like a shadow of themselves from the start of this series. It's been a very long series, much longer than we ever would have anticipated, but they need to get their heads back in it. It's 3 goals with half the game left.
I mean, the club have been here for a week. It's not just been a long day, not just been a long series. It's been a long 7 or so days for them.
They went to 5 in their Swiss.
Yeah, going at all 5. Best of 7s as well. Completely understand why the fatigue would be just starting to reach them and affect their gameplay. These touches just going to FaZe Clan players. FaZe Clan playing with their food right now, but that clearance is good. Lost is in the corner. 1 goal can change everything. KV1 into the center. Astromic is there, but AJ again. FaZe Clan, when did they become defensive wizards?
We were touting their offense at the start of this series, as was Gabe's talking about first killer, you know, being first in goal, shots, whatever it ended up being. This defense has been the sign of a team that has worked incredibly hard to know that sometimes they will come up against offense that may well be better than the 3 of them combined, and in those situations they have got to be clutch.
Oh, so close to the 4th. That really would have been the finishing blow. The club just about hang on. Never going to be easy against a team this good. Lost KV1 and Astromic. Can't just put them to bed too easily, but AJ wants to do it right there. The backboard plays, Astromic with the read. And a good touch from Lost, but first go just bumps them out of the way, makes it so difficult for Astromic. Typical into the middle. KV1, this has to go in. This has to be the chance for the club. Oh! Go in. The club do show a sign of life.
KV1 striking like a viper. Opportunity for him to go high and steady, fakes it low with the reset as well. Swoops it bottom left corner. An eruption of nature on an otherwise concrete park.
58 seconds separate the club with one of the comeback wins of the season. Are they able to manage it? Lost. That was going high. Astronomy not quite in the right place, so Typical gratefully and First Killer. The two of them go. First Killer somehow keeps his momentum, stays behind that ball. FaZe Clan just needs to swallow up those seconds to see this one away. AJ with the flip reset, but Lost is going to take a touch.
Chance for him to go solo on this ball versus Typical, but flicking early because he had no boost. Symptomatic of a team that is being boost staffed. Typical going high with it, does have one reset, wants to get it over the top, but Lost maybe didn't have that reset on it in the end. Final 25 seconds, FaZe Clan clear by 2.
The club, they got 2 games versus SSG to start off their tournament. They got 2 games versus version 1 to force that Series 5, and it is looking like up against FaZe Clan, they will be held to 2 games yet again as more saves come in. First Killer's behind the ball. FaZe Clan gonna be able to see this best of 7 away. It was not at all easy, but FaZe Clan, one of the North American favorites, they don't get that last goal. It doesn't matter at all. They take this series and breathe a huge sigh of relief.
The club fought incredibly hard, but they will be going into the lower bracket. A big, big statement by FaZe there to come back mentally to be able to work through into our upper semi-finals in Group B. They are going to be playing a little bit later on in the week. They'll be playing tomorrow, in fact. And they'll be playing against the winner of Falcons versus Dignitas, our 3rd game of the day.
It never gets easier, does it, when you're at this stage of the World Championship? Each match, each subsequent series is somehow more tricky than the previous one, but FaZe Clan would have learned a lot about themselves, about their team, and about this stage from that matchup right there.
If you can win in this kind of situation, then you have got a very, very long career ahead of you, where it's so incredibly hard to be able to just figure out where you want to be going with your teammates, how you want to approach the series, and what it is exactly that you need to break down in those moments, whilst also this job to then try and figure out how you talk to your teammates, how you also coordinate with the admins, how you then figure out everything that goes on. It is impossibly hard. You're juggling a million plates and teenager on all of them, and you don't know where this is going to be going in the end. A lot of happiness from the crowd so far.
A lot happening.
You were headbanging yesterday. Where's the headbanging gone?
This guy's got a new thing every single day.
There we go. That's what we want.
Careful, don't headbutt that guy behind you.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah, that's weird.
But FaZe Clan, it was so difficult for them, but that is the sign of a champion. Winning in series like that, when everything seems to be going against you, somehow finding the way to get those 4 games.
But also the club. Yeah. They have done so well. They got through 4-2. Oh, sorry, rather, they lost 4-2 in the end, but they got through that Swiss stage. They've still got a journey ahead of them. We are in double elimination groups. This World Championships is the best of every format we have done. We've had Swiss, we're in double elim now. We'll be moving on to single elim when we get to our gigantic arena. This is just the start. Let's all remember that. This is only 1,000 people. There are still 13,000 yet to come. But the club have got so much to be proud of. They are representing South America. They have worked their way up here. But the winners are who Orb is with. He is hanging around on the stage with First Killer.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm standing here with First Killer. Mixed bag in this crowd right here. But you guys are victorious. Walk us through this series. Everything that you're feeling here.
I honestly feel amazing. The series was a bit rough because we were having some technical issues, and we lost our first 2 games, but we just talked it out and just reset the mental and knew we can beat them if we played our game because they're a really good team. So we just needed to play our game and we just beat them.
So when you have tech issues when we have to take a break, there's many, many minutes that pass. How do you guys stay locked in? Do you take this time to talk over, obviously fixing the tech issue, making sure that that is okay, but is there something that's being said, being done, just to stay in the game?
Well, the first thing we just say is that we just got this and just calm down and just chill. But mainly we just make jokes and just talk it out and have fun. That's it.
It's important to have fun. It really is. Winning is pretty fun. What made you guys win here today? What made you guys better than your opponents?
I think Gyro is a... I think Gyro's a huge factor in the win. Like, he gave the controller to Sip. He's a clutch factor. But yeah, I think we just like use our mechanics to the max. Like, we were just controlling the ball against them because they're like a really defensive team and they're good on defense. I think we just played to break down their defense, take their boost, just solo play, and just, you know, just play our game, yeah.
One final question. Having rolled this right behind you, okay, how much does that help? Be honest. You can be honest with us.
A lot, like genuinely a lot. Rodes is such a hype man, and he's super smart too. Like, he has a lot of game knowledge, so he just helps a lot. And like, if someone's down, he just like helps us, like, I don't know, taps us on the shoulder, makes us look at him, and then like, he just tells us like, we got this, like, we're the best players in the world. And then, yeah, it's just amazing. He's amazing.
Roldis is amazing. You guys are amazing. Congratulations. Once again, we got G2 versus Optic coming up next.
We have to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I've already told everyone.
Wait, did you say Verizon for just $30?
It's their best unlimited price ever.
$30? That's awesome. Yeah, and it's from the most reliable 5G network in America.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
Yeah, it's easy. And you get $960 when you switch the whole family.
Oh, wow. I gotta let my buddies know.
We're already here.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
This might not be your car. And this might not be your engine. Maybe this isn't your morning routine. And maybe these aren't your coworkers. Perhaps these aren't your standard driving conditions. Far from it. But this is your oil, which means you're one of us, doesn't it? For serious engines, on and off the track, upgrade to Mobil 1.
The Bronco Raptor was built to climb pretty much anything. Dunes, rocks, even ranks. The Bronco Raptor, Rocket League Edition.
fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my private time, my only opponent. And lately I abide but limitless, I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Waiting for the flag to fall here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it 'cause I'm
Waiting for the flag to fall here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment. Now, waiting for the curtain call. Here now, this is the moment.
We have to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I've already told everyone.
Wait, did you say Verizon for just $30?
It's their best unlimited price ever.
$30? That's awesome. Yeah, and it's from the most reliable 5G network in America.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
Yeah, it's easy. And you get $960 when you switch the whole family.
Wow, I gotta let my buddies know.
We're already here.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
This might not be your car. And this might not be your engine. Maybe this isn't your morning routine. And maybe these aren't your coworkers. Perhaps these aren't your standard driving conditions. Far from it. But this is your oil, which means you're one of us. Doesn't it? For serious engines, on and off the track, upgrade to Mobile One.
The Bronco Raptor was built to climb pretty much anything. Dunes, rocks, even ranks. The Bronco Raptor, Rocket League Edition.
Can you hear it? The roller coaster rising. From their lowest ebb in full, barely registering a victory, G2 changed.
G2 have got absolutely no idea how to take
It's winter now. Their season-shaping roster switch has settled, more than settled, excelled. The weather's colder, but all that's icy is the blood in new G2's veins. The world was theirs, but wait. Free fall in London. Remarkable highs, unexpected lows, pain, glory, more pain. So, you tell me, what comes next?
journey for G2, but the time is now.
The day started off with drama. The club dropping in 6 games to FaZe here. 2 goals taken off the board. At the end of the day, FaZe going to come out on top here, Gibbs.
Long timeouts for Roldiz to rally the boys. You know, tech issues aside, but Roldiz, that is a hard job as your first day as a coach.
Yeah, birth by fire.
But he does a great job, and that is the first team that was down 2 games in the series to win a series in this entire tournament so far. So hats off to FaZe for battling back.
They had to do it. They had to really dig deep. We've seen KV1 stepping up in this series, which is great signs for them throughout the rest of the tournament. But even though Typical was the man of the hour for multiple reasons, he actually had a really significant performance.
Typical probably was the best player in this whole entire series. The absolute Sippy Glue came back looking like Season 7, Season 8 type form. FK was playing solid, but the club, they are off the rip, mechanically brilliant. But me and you, Gibbs, we were in the green room talking, saying, they're going to come back, first team back from 2-0, and of course it did happen. They just need to warm up a little bit, had to get ingratiated into the series, and after that, FaZe Clan looked like the better team from there on out.
I was sweating, though. I'm not going to lie. Club up 2. Like, KV1 was playing amazing. Talking about Club's offense, only number 12 got a wild card, but that was because KV1 wasn't looking that great. He looked fantastic throughout the series. Club's offense was clicking with the fakes and everything. And then, of course, obviously, with tech issues aside, it was not a controller issue, so we'll lay that to bed. Just a bug in the game. The long time out, but they come back. FaZe wins that overtime. Then we see Sip again, a hat-trick in the final game. FaZe battled back.
Yeah, no, and looking at the club moving forward here, obviously dropping the lower bracket, we will see them again here. It's a hard one to bounce back from, but if they do, what a testament it is to the strength of this team if they're able to come back from a series like that. So we'll see them again a little bit later on up in Dickies Arena on Friday. Let's take a look at the group stage. 1 match done here for Group B. See FaZe Clan in the upper finals there. 3 more matches to go here before we are done with the day. And we're going to jump up to the top there. We saw a little foreshadowing before we came back from break. G2 Esports taking on Optic Gaming.
Baseman isn't here to gas up the green wall this time, but don't worry, I'm going to give the green wall a whole bunch of love. But G2, OG, 2 teams that ended up switching rosters initially, come from the fall, after the fall split into the winter split. Drees and Atomic switching teams. OG game, but old Envy getting picked up by Optic Gaming. These 2 teams have went through a lot of adversity throughout the whole entire season, and now they're here at the world stage.
And this is a matchup that's happened over and over again in North America. Every single time, it's gone the way of G2. It's been a very, very dominant season, as you'd expect from the Winter Major champions.
Well, Optic, they're trying to change the course of history at this point and find a win over G2.
It's not too much of a shocking result for us. We kind of expected it, but looking forward to the rest of the tournament. It's going to be tough playing against the main stage teams, but we're ready for it.
Drees to shoot, but Master faking out. Good demo, miss, removes back. Does not want against 7.
We have vendettas against any team who's knocked us out in the past, so Furia and version 1 mainly. It would feel best to win against Moist since they're the strongest team here. Every series is super important, so we're gonna have to perform at our best.
It's a 1-2 from the cross in front of the net, back out to a rotation, and Drees capitalizing downfield. Optic out the first lead.
I do think we have an advantage over teams who haven't played in the wild card, since we're used to the computers and the LAN setup and playing on stream. I think it'll help us in the early stages. Nothing to say, then we'll let our gameplay do the talking.
They feel confident here, but this is going to be the biggest battle that Drees has had against his former team.
Yeah, but Optic Gaming, who finished better at London, Bates? I believe that was Optic. They finished top 8, played in front of the crowd. G2 did not, so maybe 1-1 on this roster trade so far.
Yeah, but that was the Mickey run, Gibbs. That was the Mickey. It was team secret. It was at point. You can't do that to them.
Listen, I don't want to hear anything about Mickey run from OG Gaming. You saw a young miss right there. Tell me a team in the scene that has gone through this much turmoil, this much adversity throughout the whole entire year. Atomic left them, picked up Drees. Turbo posted up 4 times on the bench. Land lose in now. They've gone through all this and yet they're still here on the world stage competing against one of the best in the game. And it starts with that young man right there leading the team.
That's the thing we always do with Optic Gaming is we underestimate Landlucian and how much of an impact he's going to do. We forget about it, then he comes back and he does well in the wild card.
But there's no bigger win for Drees than the team he got kicked off of with G2. Drees wants this probably more than anyone on the field right now.
And getting it in the group stages, getting it in like league play online is one thing. It would feel good, but all of those losses they suffered online, not going to matter if he gets the win here.
So they played 3 times after the trade, and so far 0-3 for Drees, but none of that matters. It's World Championship time.
Well, and then you heard Lucian talking about it, like coming from the wild card. They've played on this stage before. We've seen the wild card team start strong here. If they can get or start early, they might be able to put G2 in a rough spot. G2, though, on the other side, looking to get back in form.
It feels great to be here in Dallas. If we didn't make it to this Worlds, we would have been super disappointed as a team, and just making the Worlds in general was a big goal for us this season, and I think we accomplished it being the first seed in North America.
G2, one game away from winning the major for themselves and for North America.
We have a new player, Atomic, and me and Chicago are kind of older players in the scene. And I try to be that third man type play style that everyone talks about, and just filling in the gaps where it's needed.
How many times does it look like G2 are about to take control? Here they come! We've got a ball game!
It means a lot to me to be here. I think I've been playing for a long time, and I've gone to many World Championships, and I've never got that first place, and that's what I've been fighting for my whole career. This is the final tournament I want to end my career on and win the World Championship. We're going all the way.
And G2, the third team that has won a major to play here on the stage. Both Moist and BDS won their first matches here, Bates. G2's got to complete the hat trick.
Can we say something about what was not talking about saying end his career off with a World Championship naps?
No.
You still got a long time to go. That's Captain Canada right there. Come on.
I think he's not talking about this one. I'm thinking at some point he's going to win a World Championship. Surely.
A lot of pressure on G2, though. We talked about the roller coaster of the full major, no top 8 there. That then they make the roster. Winter major, they win it. They take over the #1 seed in North America. Then in spring, they win 2 regionals, hold on to #1. But when we got to London, a finish outside the top 8.
I'm the one person gets confused by the New York hats on a player named Chicago.
Who's from Los Angeles?
He's not like a Cubs hat or something.
He's a big fan.
Well, he's not from Chicago. He's from Los Angeles, but he does stay in New York, I think, now. This is where the G2 facility is. But Atomic, the young man right there, has risen up the ranks. The MVP, the true MVP, Gibbs. Thank you very much. You got to be able to win a major to win MVP. And the moment he joined G2, they have ascended. I understand in London, they had a couple bumps in a row, but it happens to all the great teams. You got to learn from that. It's better that happened then than happened now.
Hey, it's great. It's best of 7s here, so much harder to get reverse swept out of this tournament.
That is true. It's a lot easier to get reverse swept when they're best of 5s, 2 best of 5s in London. But hey, G2, they know what they need to do. Out of all these teams, #1 in North America for a reason. They had a huge point lead over FaZe. G2, it's going to be roller coaster, though. I'm not sure.
Turbo's not here. We've got manager Ian behind them. Famous Ian, of course. He's going to be coaching them today.
Happy birthday, though, to Turbo Pulsa.
Happy
birthday, yes.
Belated happy birthday to Turbo Pulsa. I was upset last night when I found out we sang Rise's dad happy birthday, which, fair enough, it was his birthday, but we didn't sing Turbo Pulsa happy birthday here. Happy birthday, Turbo.
And I will say that you got Coach Staffy Popovich, as I like to call him. He's been orchestrating this team. I put him in that same cachet, Coach Chrome on SSG, bringing in the game plans, and he has great players that take those in and then implement them onto the field. Most teams and rosters cannot do that.
Yeah, this first year is going to be super important for G2 mentality-wise after how tough London was, how they would have felt mentally after that. This is their regain, hopefully. Unless Mist steps up again.
It's so difficult to tell what they're going to show on stage, right? Like Optic, I think you know exactly what they're going to bring. A lot of defense, not a ton of offense, a lot of counterattacks. Optic is very consistent, but they're consistent as like a #5 in NA. G2, their peak, obviously, #1 in North America, maybe the best
in the world,
like Winter Major. But then they finished outside top 8 in 2 of those majors as well. So you just don't know what they're going to bring.
And is there a common thread between the two bottom 8 finishes, between not making it to the finals for G2 that we're got to keep our eye on here for match #1?
I think it's going to come down to their offense. They have a high-powered offense, but when they shoot and they shoot poorly, I think that is when they get in trouble because they like to send all three upfield. And Optic would love for G2 to do that and then shoot and miss, and then we get a counterattack goal. So I think Optic, they're going to play their defensive game, and they're going to hope that the shots are just a little bit off on G2.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Chicago, I feel like, have a little bit of a rough time in London. All the way back in the fall major, Chicago and JNAPS are two experienced players. I think they put a lot of pressure on their shoulders, considering how close they've been in the past to World Championship wins, to how much it means to them. I'm glad that they got that major win, but now we go up a step.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of X factors you could point at here, Bates, but for me, I'm still just looking at the same lineup I was looking at earlier, Drees versus Atomic. The roster change finally coming to like this pinnacle here as these players swap and who's going to come out on top.
And that's why, as you bring it up, that's such an important point to make. A lot of people, when Drees ended up joining Old MV, now Optic Gaming, a lot of people didn't expect Optic Gaming to be here at this time because they thought Drees, a significant downgrade, Atomic too great, this team won't be here. So that really shows how good Drees is, how good this OG roster is. I'm so proud of him to be in here. It's going to be an exciting match.
You've got to prove them right here. Let's see how you feel at home in the Verizon fan vote. Hashtag OG, hashtag G2. Depending on the side you're falling here, we'll just go down the line. You know, cheese man, G2 or Optic?
Well, I'm going to play with history. With these two rosters, with Atomic switched over, G2 have won every single time, and I'm going to back it again. It's going to be an easy one for G2.
I have a long history with G2 predictions not going well sometimes, but I'm sorry, G2 fans. I'm going to have to pick G2 here. They have always beaten Optic. Might be a curse, but I'm going G2.
JNF's Atomic Chicago. You already know I'm rolling with G2, baby. You already knew that, man. I got Atomic versus Mist. Two of my favorite players on the game, two of the best players in the game in my estimation. I think that G2, the offensive prowess, we saw NOG yesterday really putting on the pressure against V1, but they couldn't capitalize. G2 doesn't have that problem anymore. They're too calculated, too efficient. OG, your back's against the wall.
Here's the thing. G2 has always beaten Optic, but every one of those is online. Not on this stage that Optic's been playing on for 5 days. And the only times I've doubted the green wall, they've proven me wrong. I'm sticking with the green wall on this one. I saw one green wall sign out there. Give them to me, folks. I believe in them. We can make it happen. Bigger mountains have been moved in Rock League. How's the chat feeling at home in the Verizon fan vote here? Okay, you know what? I'm going to say the green wall's been showing up more and more as this event's been going on. It was like 10%.
21's better, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're even favorites in the last time we saw them on the stage. So, good to see the players here. I mean, I'm looking at Atomic. I'm looking at Drees. Can Drees pull all up to this pressure, though? This is going to be a lot.
It's really going to be like Optic. I feel like game one is a must-win for Optic. You can't let G2 begin rolling.
That's facts.
So you need at least the first two games, very similar to FaZe and Club. Like Club got the first two games, made it a series, but FaZe found their form. Same thing's going to happen here with G2.
All right, well, let's get on to the stage for an inter-regional match, G2 versus Optic. Optic has lost every time. Can they change the story here? G2, they've got the fans in the house and in chat. Let's get into game one. Let's head down to the Verizon Skybox.
A classic North American skirmish here in North America. I'm Stumpy, joined by Subi, and these two teams have a very favorable matchup in terms of G2. It is currently 6-1 in favor of our Winter Major champion.
Yeah, but Stumpy, you gotta put an asterisk on that one. When they did take down G2, Atomic was on that roster, and as you know, the North American MVP on the side of G2 Esports now.
And interestingly, they didn't even win that match. It was the set, it was the one back in fall, it was the 3 best-of-7s, 21 games, just the one series win in the middle for Envy at the time, now Optic. So get to actually beat G2 in to progress through a bracket or to take a title.
Well, and I really feel like that's going to be the game plan for Optic. They've got to play the marathon here. They cannot try and go toe-to-toe with G2 Esports. They've got to try and take them into deep water.
Good opportunities at the right-hand wing as Drees is going to push it around the side of Chicago and JNAPS both waiting on that back wall. Chance though blocks out on the left yet again. JNAPS being incredibly aggressive. That's what we saw from him at the Winter Major. And I think we're going to be talking about the Winter Major when we say G2 are good, and we're going to be talking about the Spring Major when we say that G2 are not so good.
Yeah, not the best performance from them, especially coming out as major champions and not even making it to the crowd days. Mist gets that one right around Atomic, barreling down the field. And nice poke there from the Chicago, getting that away from Mist. And I'm going to have all eyes on Drees here. He's been one of my favorite players in North America. There has been so much talk all around him on G2, and I've always said, please more Drees, but denied on the goal line. Couldn't quite get under the crossbar, and there's Drees looking for a big clear, gets that boost, but JNAPS continues the pressure for G2.
A very interesting history between these two teams, wherein Optic switch one player for the other. You've got Drees moving over for Atomic and then going back again. And it is a big, big situation where these teams have just decided we are better with the other one. We are better with your teammate. But JNAX from Chicago, they have been misters of G2 for a long time now.
Yeah, an awkward touch there for Illusion, but Drees with the help elects to go backwards, get that midfield boost, and great drop down pass. Drees a little too far back for the follow-up by Mist, but here comes G2, almost halfway through game number 1 here, and still both teams yet to score.
Mist was extremely low on boost on that shot as well. I felt he could have got round it, but then looking at the boost counter, he ended on 0. But that call, if it came in, maybe he could have passed it instead it just ended up being a bit of a nothing shot. Halfway through the game, chances are rising. Atomic shooting against Drees. Each other's replacements, so absolutely no bad blood there whatsoever.
Yeah, and big demo there in the defensive half from Mist to slow down that pressure coming out from G2 as Atomic bombs that one forward, just out of the reach of Chicago. But Chicago gonna go for that big boost deal, looking for bump, can't quite find anyone, and here comes Drees, gets the challenge, ball towards midfield, but no one there in the box to clean things up.
Opportunity though for Drees to go for a shot down, instead Mist, but has to return. JNAT, right-hand wing, chances, but no booster. He will have to retreat, tries to go for a bump on the way. Those aggressive plays doing so well for teams across the board. Go for a pass, go for a bump, help your teammates out in whichever way that you're able to do so. Drees, chance to pass center, but Atomic.
Yeah.
What a clear into the opposite corner. Sets up Chicago for 1. Alu continuing on that push down.
Yeah, much needed touch as well on that double commit. Very fortuitous bounce in his favor as Atomic, little help from his teammate to get this ball, and Chicago cuts rotations. Might have disrupted Atomic just enough, and it does. Turnover for G2, but they do keep it in the zone, and here comes Drees. Goes around 1, but that ball just away from him. Chicago to Atomic, Atomic towards net, just a little too high off the crossbar.
Just a smidge too much beans on that bad boy. Chicago in the midfield, catches it high. Chance to go to JNAPS. Again, opportunities for passes, but with Atomic missing, Chicago has to fill in that gap. Pass is central. Atomic from nowhere actually gets that touch off the back from JNAPS. Drees going for a wonder goal. Isn't able to get it on that chance. Final minute rapidly approaching, still 0-0 in this group.
And Optic Gaming realized how important it is to hold back G2. So dangerous if they get game number 1. If you give them game 1, Stumpy, they're 90% likely to win that series. So Optic Gaming holding on for dear life. Double demo coming out as Atomic gets that ball away, and 40 seconds remain here.
Look dangerous. Played into the corner by Chicago. Opportunities arising. With JNATS passing to Atomic onto the backboard, the double tap. Nearly a chance for Alu, clearing it away again. JNats removes Mist from the conversation.
Just spawning on the right side there to cover up the goal line is that ball hanging top of the box. This is going to be dangerous. JNats can't quite reach it, coming off the back wall. And Breeze, no boost, didn't realize it. The ball, just off of the post. JNats can't clean it up. And the green wall living up to their name, but finally they fall. G2 Esports takes game number 1.
The wall beginning to crumble as G2 take a sledgehammer to every individual brick. Mortar goes flying as Chicago finds the top left. G2, first game going their way. And Subi, please remind me of that stat for G2 winning game 1.
90% series win rate if they take game number 1. You want to talk about momentum? Well, it is all on the side of G2 Esports right now as they take a big sigh of relief after getting a dub there in game 1. And the fans all around the world have got to feel good about that one, especially coming in as heavy favorites against Optic.
There's chances for retribution and to show that each of these teams is able to perform when it matters. G2, we said the Winter Major was the best we have literally ever seen them play. They became champions of the world in that moment. And yet then spring was not their time. They ended up bowing out right at the end of that, so right at the start rather, of that competition. And Optic had a couple of shock wins, but they still want to prove to everybody they are here to hang with the big dogs, because that roster has gone through a billion permutations, it feels like, over the spring split.
Yeah, and I really feel like adding Illusion has done so much for this team, so much comfort on that side. But you talk about roster changes and bringing Atomic over to G2. When we saw them play in the Winter Major, I mean, it's just finally he lived up to all those expectations. And then I feel like they just got a little too comfortable in spring. A couple reverse sweeps, got too comfortable there. But here, realizing most important stage, World Championships, so much on the line. Game 2, Aquadome, here we come.
Aquadome is such a pretty map. You rarely get to see it from that angle. I love the observing that we've seen so far. It's been wonderful. G2, they're going to be looking out for a win themselves. Another one, they go for 2, then 3, then 4. They want to be shutting down this series quicker than the club phase ended up going. It's been a long day so far, and it's literally 1 p.m.
Well, you know, you're probably on a different time zone or something. I'm not sure. But either way, here comes Optic, denying the first shot from G2 Esports. Solution just floating, didn't have boost, but JNats didn't know it, puts it down on his goal line, and thankfully no punishment coming from Optic.
Chance for Drees, though, to score on that chance, but Drees now being bumped away from that ball. Very good recovery from him to slide into the boost and continue down the pitch, facing off versus his old captain in JNats, Atomic to the sky. Opportunity again to underneath. This ball falling to G2 over and over again.
And great cover there as that ball just finds its way back post and in. Great chip shot here from JNats.
That is just something a little bit naughty, but Chicago laying it off to him in a lot of space. Alu's momentum carried him away from that shot. Has to stop, put the brakes on, tries the half flip, isn't able to get there, and G2 with an early lead in game number 2.
And so, oh no, bad kickoff here for G2. Illusion can't get it around Atomic as Drees tries to keep things alive. This one pushed forward. JNats up early and gets the touch on that one. So dangerous and so creative as an awkward bounce comes out of the corner. Gonna be favor here for Optic Gaming. Big bump, but JNats just barrels his way through. Oh my goodness, what a pass downfield and what a redirect from Illusion to tie this game up.
In the midfield, you just see that touch going slightly too wide. Drees able to shoot it towards the net, but Alu on the way out, he whips back in, is able to get it in that bottom corner. Ball respawning, we find ourselves level between Optic and G2.
And so far, all of the offense that's been present for G2 has been running through Chicago and JNats. Still waiting to see the reigning North American MVP get involved. He's been getting a few defensive stops, but he is so deadly, so mechanical. Big stop on the goal line from JNats. Gets another one as well, refuses to let that ball in.
JNats showing the green wall what a real brick is made of. Manages to keep it out from that line again. Soaring above the net. Mislo wanting to take the opportunity to bump Chicago out the way. Those were 2 brilliant shots on target, and yet JNats stays firm.
Just composure through and through from JNats. So much experience. Been around the scene for a long time, and it's going to take a lot more than that to get him to bite and jump out of net. Great pass from Chicago. Atomic a little off target there, just high off the crossbar, but G2 not done with their offense. They're going to rotate through as Chicago sees. Oh, it goes for the fake. I love that play, but unfortunately, Optic Gaming a little too wise to let that one in.
We're seeing so many fakes recently, but sometimes the biggest opportunity is just by shooting. I love seeing those fakes though. Just when you see them just bow out of it, get out the way and let their teammate into strike. It's wonderful to see. Halfway through the game, Mist stays firm despite the fact there was somebody on the backboard wanting to get the redirect. Right-hand wing sees Mist go for one touch, nearly the second. Where is Drees? Nowhere to be seen. Instead, G2 now on the push.
Oh, awkward ball there for Lucian. Ball trail stayed orange. I'm not sure if he got a touch or if it was just a misplacement from Atomic. Either way, it leads to a turnover and push downfield for Optic Gaming as Drees puts this one up. J-Naps comes in from the weak side, keeps this ball alive here for G2, but boost grab from Drees gonna slow things up for G2, and finally getting boost. J-Naps still on an island, has nothing left in the tank, gets boosted up, ball still alive, but here comes Illusion, and again, J-Naps holding down that back line.
Opportunities for GT to extend their lead, but Optic are staying firm. They're making sure that these opportunities just go amiss or they're able to clear them into the corners. Then you can get the 1-2 attack out of defense. Alu turning around again. His positioning, I think, has left a lot to be desired. He's finding himself in awkward situations. He's having to reverse, turn around, do 3-point turns. It is not working. But so far, level in this game. It's not been devastating, but I can see G2 pressing that.
Well, and I think a lot of the reason for that is the rotations of G2. It's so uncharacteristic at times because you'll see a member that's supposed to rotate out, but will cut in and just challenge a ball that you don't expect them to be on, and missed on that back wall, and Drees can't catch up. Chicago puts G2 ahead, less than a minute to go.
And the crowd are very happy about that one. It goes onto the backboard. Alu with a devastating miss. Chicago there, able to clear it into the corner where there was nobody. Drees nearly saving it away, but instead, G2 managed to get that lead, and it's something that they've certainly been pressing for a very long time in this game.
Yeah, on this stage, this late in the season, you've got to play Rocket League way better than this. Perfection not here for Optic, and G2 capitalized.
Optic hit the ball! Just everybody grounded, nobody wanting to take the initiative there. And so Atomic says, yeah, all right, I'll smash one back against my old team, I don't care. Atomic, great play from him. Optic, sort it out.
My goodness, you got to jump on the goal line. Someone has to go. And we know this team is, you know, very relaxed, very calm in Optic Gaming, but you gotta call things out, gotta have the communication, and that one just almost pushed through. Mist puts it into the corner, and here comes Mist, twirling his way through, but unfortunately no style points can go up on the scoreboard as Atomic just gonna throw this one up. I like that play there. I love that. You dangle it in front of the opponent, say, come and get it. And not only are you keeping it away, but you're burning time off the clock.
Burning time, burning boost. Everything is being taken away from Optic so far. The final 10 seconds sees a miracle need to come on its way. Maybe that comes in the form of Drees. This time, though, it does not look like it will be. G2 Esports 2-0 up in the series. Subi, I'm not going to push you too much to say what their win percentage is when they end up going 2-0 up at the start of a series. Do you know it?
I would probably say 137%, because if you give G2 that much momentum, you're not going to stop them. This team is so good. But for Optic Gaming, my friend, they've just got to do more. They've got to come out of the gates hotter. They've got to try and score first. Because if you allow G2 Esports to continue to get that first initial goal, you allow them to really spread their offense apart, and you cannot get those long clears over their heads. It's just too difficult to start an offense.
It just felt like silly errors to me, like especially that third goal. Atomic had a completely open net to shoot on. Like, what else is he going to do? Where else is he going? He's going to shoot it at the net. And yet everybody stayed grounded. They only just got back. He completely outplayed. The crowd, big fans of seeing G2 go ahead, however, so at least somebody is happy in this conversation. That goal from Ali was excellent, but still, I need to keep harping on about his positioning. It's just annoying me. It's annoying me seeing him just go into iffy positions where you just think, mate, why are you turning around? Why are you not half flipping there? Why are you being there too quickly, because sometimes it's a symptom of that. It's a symptom of getting somewhere too quickly, and then you need to slow down, only to speed back up again.
Exactly.
If you get there in moderate time, usually it's a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. It kills all your momentum once you have to hit that break and then try and speed right back up. And it really just throws timing off, and you can see him. All three members talking, but G2, calm, cool, collected. Game 3 about to begin, and my goodness, this team looks like they are on a mission to hoist a trophy above their heads.
They've done it before. This is the first step for them, the first showing of G2 on our stage. Whereas Optic, they went through 5 series to get here. They went to the Death versus Secret, knocked them out. They'll be taking their place. And they want to make sure that everybody knows, that they believe, that they can see with their own 2 eyes that Optic deserve to be here.
That's wide open. Nobody home, but Illusion able to catch up. Soft touch from Atomic all the way downfield, but I love that. Just a little honesty check, making sure that Optic Gaming is rotating back in time. Infield pass, but Atomic way too high on that one, and Atomic not going to be able to catch up, but here comes JNaps off the side wall. That one's off the crossbar. Illusion able to get there. Great 50-50 midair, but Atomic's slowed down by Mist, and I love that pre-jump.
Mist defense, we've seen it throughout the spring split. We saw it throughout any other competition he's been in, London as well. He was phenomenal defensively. He was one of the most exciting players to see just where he was going to come from. But even with a Mist on your side, JNaps will find that gap.
I love this pass as well. The ball's on the right side, going all the way towards midfield, and then left post and in. JNaps saw Drees coming off that side wall. Knew no way he was going to get backdoor. And JNaps gives G2 Esports 1-0 lead early on here in Game 3.
After that goal as well, out of my peripheral, I saw JNaps' dad get excited, get very animated, seeing what they are capable of. And it's something that you love to see hanging out with Chicago's dad as well. The parental pride on G2, they've been here for so long. Must be incredible to watch them competing at the biggest world championship we've ever had. And between them, Alu, finally, a chance held away.
Yeah, but it's chaos on the back line here for Optic. They've got to do something to get this ball out of their zone. Just under 40 boost for all of them right here, and finally they're starting to get whittled down. Little double tap there off the ceiling from Chicago, and Optic Gaming hanging on by a thread, but sometimes that thread strong enough to hold you throughout as Chicago catches that ball. Nice double touch. Atomic can't get the ground pinch, and Chicago denied, but my goodness, Optic Gaming need to get some offense started.
Yeah, so far it's just been defense, and you don't usually win a game on defense. You can sometimes get a cheeky runaway goal, but you're not getting that against G2. Their positioning is typically fantastic. Mist so far for me has looked great on Optic. He was shadowing earlier on when it was a 2v1, and he was doing that so effectively that G2 didn't even get the shot away.
Yeah, and right now we've been talking a lot about G2's offense, and Chicago getting involved a ton. He's 4th in NA for shooting percentage, so if you give him a look, he is most likely going to rattle it in as JNaps flip reset pass, but Chicago tried pre-jumping it. I love to see those plays, but sometimes they can get mighty dangerous, but Optic Gaming very flat-footed right here, and G2 Esports starting to look like they're in free play, I'm sorry.
Chicago with multiple opportunities as well, just shooting a little bit high on that chance. Into the corner, it falls to Drees. Opts to not take his time. Guess who's going to be there? It's going to be JNaps. G2 are going to continue pushing, but these saves from Mist are going to keep them begging.
And here we go. Numbers for Optic, but Atomic swats that ball away, gives him no time to think. Gets that one around Illusion. JNaps a little too close to get that one, and gonna slow down G2 for a moment here, and Illusion up early, but again, denied by Atomic. He is just so quick and reads plays so well. You got to do something else to try and trick him out. Maybe a little fake, maybe a little passing, infield passing play. Oh, baby, off the post, rattles out. And Illusion can't find it either. G2 Esports playing perfectly right now.
They were all in the net. They all knew their job, yet Mist stretched them as hard as he could. Alu, though, shooting wide on a much simpler shot. I like that we're finally seeing some attack come out of Optic, however. They are doing a lot better in this game. There are chances opening up for them. They just have not been able to take them. JNaps had to whip it around. Does manage to do so. We approach 1 minute left. G2 still leading 1-0 and 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, I just love how aggressive G2 is playing right now. Giving Optic Gaming zero space, especially at midfield. They can't get any plays developing, and they continue to try and run their offense through G2's corners, and at the moment, not working whatsoever. Demo attempt to come out, but Drees able to avoid that one. The flick not on target.
Those demos potentially going to be the kryptonite for Optic versus G2. But if they're going to be figuring that out in game number 3 when they're currently 2-0 down, you need to get the goal from it soon. Chance goes off the backboard. JNAP's trying to dish it in. Does not manage to this time. Final 30. 1 goal separating them. Atomic, though, wanting to make it 2. And again, Alu with a save, learning from Mist.
And you see JNAP's there rotating out, but not before he gets an aggressive play on Mist there. As Mist, nobody goes for that ball. Miscommunication. Optic Gaming need to push out of their half right now. 10 seconds remaining, and Chicago just picks the pockets of Optic's defense.
They are calm and stoic on their cameras too. As far as G2 are concerned, this is just a bump in the road that they need to navigate. They just need to get past it. They see the trophy at the end, and they are going full speed, slowing down whenever a team approaches them, but batting them all out the way consecutively.
It's not even a bump in a road, it's just a little pothole. Right now, you just got to swerve to the left to get around it. As game number 3 here, going to go in favor of G2. JNAP's putting the exclamation point on this game.
1 second left. It's not happening. It literally can't. Game number 4. And I hate to say this to any Optic fans in the audience right now. We are yet to see a single reverse sweep in a best-of-7 on an RLCS LAN. It is stacked against them. Optic previously have won a single series versus G2, but it did not matter because it was part of a set, and that was without Atomic on their side.
Yeah, G2 fans out there can probably take a big sigh of relief and say, okay, this one's almost all the way in the bag, and no bigger sigh of relief than JNAP's dad standing right behind us. He was telling us he was on pins and needles before this series started. Yes, G2 heavy favorites, but on this stage, anything can happen. And hey, history could still come out, but I like G2's odds.
Optic, bear in mind, they worked through that Swiss stage, through the wild card, going for 3 wins, 2 losses. It was hard for them. It was hard fought, but they earned their spot here.
Wow. We just got word. Optic Gaming, no timeout. They just want to keep going through this. And I agree.
We're giving each other the same face.
I don't know about that. That's a bold move. It's a bold move. But a move nonetheless, and something that they're going to have to live with if they do drop this 4th game. But G2, taking words of advice from their coach, Sathu. He's been just so integral into their success into the RLCS. He's been a mainstay. He's been around for so long and retired as a player. Took his knowledge onto the coaching field, and my goodness, G2 has just seemed to work so well with all 4 of these members working together.
Game number 4 on Utopia. Chances for Optic to work their way back. Do they get the game win, or is this just a relatively routine 4-0 for G2?
G2's defense has just been incredible, but I think the defense really stems from their offense. The amount of pressure that, oh my goodness, Atomic pre-flip over the defender. My goodness.
You want to bump him, you better do it better. Atomic skims and slides and taps it past the final defender. 15 seconds and excellence is already achieved.
And I love how after that, G2 barely even smirks. They are on a complete mission. They are here to do some work, and some work has been done. But still, 4 minutes separates them from a series win, and they realize so easily things can get away from them.
Drees shooting high on that ball, but off that backboard. Yet more G2 defense is looking brilliant. Mist wants to go high with this. He's been fantastic defensively. The offense, though, this time not there.
But Optic Gaming looking the best they have here in game number 4, maintaining a little bit of pressure. Off the ceiling is Illusion, and can't quite find the musty there.
Illusion, though, going for a bump. We said previously how well that may well fare against G2. Just trying to shake them out of their fantastic rotations so far, but need to make that contact at Supersonic, otherwise you're just putting yourself out of position.
You got to do something, right? I mean, G2 Esports, the best in North America as far as limiting shots goes, and Chicago able to get that defensive demo, slow things down for Optic.
Chance on the open net, though, to shoot. Chicago unable to get back. Missed with a vital goal.
And Chicago just kind of hanging in the corner there, gets boost. But unfortunately, that shot so far away from him, he had to try and stretch for it just off of his fingertips and in. And Optic Gaming tie us up here in game number 4. And kickoff in favor of G2 Esports. JNaps puts that one on target and missed. Able to get back in time. And here comes Optic Gaming coming through the corner here. JNaps able to deny. Drees keeps it alive. Good 50 from the young fella. But that one not going in their favor, just bombed downfield.
Missed wanting to be the catalyst. And Alu wanting to be the man that is firing on all cylinders as Drees comes in, changing gears on Utopia. Chance for Alu to get one shot off. Chicago shoots wide of the net, just realizing that if he shoots it dead on, there's not enough. But missing. And Atomic on the opener. Missing as well.
Oh my goodness, a rare mistake from G2 Esports. You gotta have those open nets, especially on those ones where Optic Gaming is just begging you to score. As this ball floating in G2's half, Illusion pushes it over to Drees. Drees around one, but Chicago there playing close post, and Atomic booms it downfield, turned away by Illusion into the corner.
Alu as this support character is something that I'm liking a lot more. He's facilitating the others. He's putting himself in positions where he can be passed to. He can pass it back to the others as well. He's not being the final man in any given situation.
Oh my!
But you talk about final men in any situation, and you've got to look to JNaps.
Well, and this is the reason Atomic's the NA MVP. Flip reset into a pass. Unselfish play is what makes G2 Esports so special as twos rain across the scoreboard. Not much time left for Optic Gaming.
This kickoff pivotal yet again. Every moment the seconds tick down. Otherwise Optic go 0-4 versus one of the world's best. Certainly the best in North America. Drees leaves that ball to miss. I like that a lot. That ball just pumped far too far for Alu. Goes to touch behind him. A little bit of consistency, not quite achieved. But JNaps, he is a human plateau. He is consistent all the way through.
Him and Atomic, man, they are just mind-melding right now. And I don't think that shot could have been more central in the net. Picture-perfect accuracy from JNaps. And once again, another great pass from Atomic.
The crowd starting to get even more elated as it really feels like G2 have grabbed this game by the horns.
Oh, mama!
And Chicago, talking of grabbing by the horns, that man is a Chicago Bull.
Oh, baby, you love to see that double tap. So close to the post, and he's able to find the angle. G2 Esports feeling good, and it's almost time for a victory lap.
You love to see those mechanics coming out from the boys as well. When they feel it, they make magic, and montages reign. But Alu, he wants a montage of his own.
Makes it awkward for the defenders here. This ball, about an 89.5-degree angle. It's on target, and Chicago forced to just react. And unfortunately goes off of his hood and in. And G2 Esports still up by 2, but plenty of time for Optic Gaming to claw their way back.
1 minute 40, opportunities are rising for Optic. But G2, they want to shut them down as early as they can because you do not want your down-and-out opposition, your wounded animal, to become confident. Drees, left-hand wall, may well start everything for him. Onto the backboard, isn't able to get the double, instead Atomic is waiting. And JNaps, that demo on Alu, shutting down the attack in its entirety.
And I'd really like to see Optic Gaming get a goal here in the next 30 seconds. So they've got at least 45 to work with to try and tie us up. But first, it's going to take them getting out of their own half, which is no easy feat, especially when demos are coming out. And Illusion turns that one away. No boost left in the tank. No boost left for anyone on Optic. They need to boost up, need to get resources back. As Drees elects to drop that one down and miss. And miss, can't quite find the angle. A little too close.
I love the idea from Drees. I had no idea that was coming. I thought he was about to take the shot, as did JNaps. JNaps starts to move towards the goal, and yet he unselfishly passes it back. 35 seconds, 2 goals needed for Optic to draw it up.
Oh, big demo on the back half. Missed. Can't get it over Chicago, and Illusion denied by Chicago. Drees trying to tie it up, and the defense just too good from G2.
And the shot itself was smidge too weak, missed, looping it up, attempting to get it over that back line. Is not able to. 10 seconds, start to count down on the clock and in the crowd.
Oh, big miss on the back line here. 8 seconds remaining. They need this one to go in, and it does. Missed. Gives Optic Gaming a chance.
Swiping in front of that ball, delivering it middle of the net. No chance for Chicago to read that well as it curves away from him. 6 seconds. We've seen a couple of dodgy kickoffs so far today. Will we get the same from G2?
Hold your breath if you're a G2 esports fan. The ball goes the right side of the field. Optic Gaming gonna have to march the full length and keep it up. Not gonna happen. G2, full sweep of Optic Gaming.
A decisive win in the North American Derby. Now going 7-1 in series against each other. G2 across the season, Braziling another North American squad.
And Atomic having another wonderful series. Gets himself a playmaker there in game 4. And fist bumps all around between the teams. So much mutual respect, even given the rivalry. But G2 Esports not getting elated too soon. They realize it is a long journey to Championship Sunday.
G2 now have the opportunity to face off versus the winner of Furia and Carmine Corp in our upper semi-finals in Group B at the Rocket League World Championships. It has been a massive performance from them. And you know what I love to see, Subi? I love to see them, you as well, but also mostly this thing. G2 being really just quite good.
I mean, not just quite good, absolutely dominant. And you know, we've seen so many times where a heavy favorite comes in and plays down to the level of their competition. Not G2 Esports, not this time. They realize we're the better team. We're picked to win. Everyone out here wants us to win. And they just go out and completely mop the floor with Optic Gaming. So all you can do right now is tip your hats to G2 Esports.
Yeah, and Optic Gaming, they've still got more chances. They are in the lower bracket. We said it earlier. It's a double elimination format in these groups. There is a lot more that they can do, a lot more damage, but still, that's one of their 2 lives gone. It's still a brutal format. They worked so hard to get out of that wildcard stage, and then they run into G2. It's a bit brutal.
It really is, especially when G2 is playing like this and not like they were at the Spring Major. It is just going to be way too hard to take this team down. And, you know, I'm really curious to see how G2 plans to do this. And no better way than get to talk to Sathu. Orb's up there with him.
We are here on the stage. Mr. Sathu, let's walk through your feelings here. You just swept Optic. How do you feel?
We're feeling good. It was a really clinical showing, and so, you know, we're just really happy with how we started this campaign.
I mean, it started off, it was like overtime in game 1. It seems like nobody wanted to score. Did you think it was going to be a sweep in the end?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a sweep in the end.
I gotta say, I was there in London, in person, very close to you guys in, well, heartbreak. Let's just say that. Does this feel like a little bit of redemption for what you guys endured in London?
Most definitely. London was a fluke, to be honest, in our eyes, and it's not going to happen again.
I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills. Now, obviously, looking at Optic, they are a great team, obviously a former team member of yours. How does that kind of play in to a former player of yours being on the other team?
You know, at the end of the day, it's like all business. You know, Dries is our boy, love him to death. He's a great player, but we aren't thinking about that when we're playing against him.
It's just business as usual, is that right?
Yeah, that's right, business.
Business as usual. Well, it seems to be paying off. Give it up once again for G2. Winning here against Optic. Next up, we got Furia versus K-Corp. Don't go anywhere.
We've all been here before.
We have to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I've already told everyone.
Wait, Did you say Verizon for just $30?
It's their best unlimited price ever.
$30? That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's from the most reliable 5G network in America.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
Yeah, it's easy. And you get $960 when you switch the whole family.
Wow. I gotta let my buddies know.
We're already here.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
This might not be your car. And this might not be your engine. Maybe this isn't your morning routine. And maybe these aren't your coworkers. Perhaps these aren't your standard driving conditions. Far from it. But this is your oil, which means you're one of us, doesn't it? For serious engines, on and off the track, upgrade to Mobil 1.
The Bronco Raptor was built to climb pretty much anything. Dunes, rocks, even ranks. The Bronco Raptor, Rocket League Edition.
Moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter. The shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it 'cause I'm waiting for the flag to fall. Cutting through
We have to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I've already told everyone.
Wait, did you say Verizon for just $30?
It's their best unlimited price ever.
$30? That's awesome. Yeah, and it's from the most reliable 5G network in America.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
Yeah, it's easy. And you get $960 when you switch the whole family.
Wow, I gotta let my buddies know.
We're already here.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
This might not be your car. And this might not be your engine. Maybe this isn't your morning routine. And maybe these aren't your coworkers. Perhaps these aren't your standard driving conditions. Far from it. But this is your oil, which means you're one of us, doesn't it? For serious engines, on and off the track, upgrade to Mobil 1.
The Bronco Raptor was built to climb pretty much anything. Dunes, rocks, even ranks. The Bronco Raptor, Rocket League Edition.
It's one of the great injustices in Rocket League history. South America, even this season, was somehow considered a minor region. With Brazil hoisted proudly on their shoulders, Fast and Furious Furia bellowed two simple words. No more. Kaio and Card are ever present, but Talisman Yan is something else entirely. Blessed with the flair of the footballing gods the country is known for, he's now in that discussion, the one for the world's best player. From one big win to consistent top sixes to the largest free world's prize pool in Rocket League history, Furia and Brazil now deserve to be feared.
Another match concluded, another top 8 team making quick work of a wild card contender. G2 4-0 sweeping Optic, and I would love to say that it was close. Game 1 gave us a nice overtime, but it kind of felt like it was over after that.
A lot of questions around G2 to see how this roller coaster of a season would start here at the World Championship. All questions answered right there. Pretty convincing 4-0 win.
Yeah, G2 looking like the feared team we saw at LA, the way they're playing out there. They look quality, the execution was there. Nothing too fancy, they pulled off some nice goals, but they made it look simple, and Optic really have to step up if they want to make it through that lower bracket.
That's the G2 we want to see. We want to see a G2 who's playing a nice, simple, controlled game, taking what the defense gives them and attacking it, executing, and being clinical every single time. The midfield plays, look at it, 1-2, skip to Malu. Naps bottom right corner. We saw a couple of that the whole entire series. They were connecting the OG2 weight, keeping the defense solid, but we have to give OG a little bit of credit. They fought hard, but it's not easy going up against one of the juggernauts of the world.
That midfield pressure that G2's able to pile on time and time again. They're so fast. I did still feel like, though, Gibbs, there was a little bit left to be desired from G2 in the accuracy department, which is the thing you pointed out
But
before.
I feel like G2 didn't have to do a lot in the series. They knew that they were winning 90% of the field for the most part. It was a comfortable 4-0 win. They don't have to overexert themselves yet, on the offensive side, because they know Optic wants to counterattack, so maybe slow it down a little bit so you don't get counterattacked and give up those free goals that we've seen G2 do in the past. So they played some better defense because they knew Optic is going to always want to play defense and go for a counterattack. And sure, it's probably not the best we'll see from G2, but they didn't need that versus Optic here.
And that's what this stage of the tournament's for these big teams, is to get themselves used to that stage. Accuracy will come with time. That is normally the biggest thing you see in teams that are nervous, inexperienced, or just settling in. They start to miss a few shots here, but G2 made up for that by recognizing with their amazing read of the play where the pockets of space they could dominate were, and they would send the ball there. You see those passes. G2 always got the next possession after they hit those balls, and that's so key to their game plan, is controlling the pace of the game.
They absolutely did control it, and we will see them in the upper bracket as we take another look at the group be situation here as we're moving through this double elimination format. G2 advancing to that upper semifinal there. They will wait on the results of our next match. We've got K-Corp, the blue wall, taken to the stage, going up against the favorites from South America. K-Corp's got some fans in the house. We've been hearing them every time we've said their name.
Fans everywhere for K-Corp. You see it on Twitter all the time, but Furia coming off a Gamers 8 win. Sure, it was not only 3v3, but high pressure, and they pulled it off. And Yan, that's after a historic offensive performance in London.
Well,
so they finished top 6, but now they want to go even further, get a top 4, maybe a grand finals here.
They have been waiting for a contender to make it out of the wild card to face them. And for that contender, it's going to be the blue wall.
Making it to the main event is actually insane. It's been difficult. Always difficult to make out of the wild card because every team is actually good. I think we have a pretty advantage because we have been kind of training already, playing on stage, playing in a tournament mood, where the other teams will play the first game of the World Championship. And we all know that World Championship is a big of nerves. You don't want to make a mistake. Don't really have a lot of mistake to make when you're in main event, which in wildcard we can actually lose 2 games and still make it.
Managed to get quite a few counter-attacking goals from those. There's Itachi of the challenge. He rolls very nicely tonight. That's his 4th.
I think the team we fear the most at the moment is probably G2. They have been really, really good these last month. Even though we won them in London, it was still super hard. And I think that's the team that we kind of fear the most because we don't really know them a lot. We didn't play that much against them since they're from NA.
The entire series against Farming Carp, you seem like a triple threat in comparison. Here comes Nolly, bro, double after the mind game.
Our team will be the one lifting the trophy because we're actually the best in the field. All come on the stage with confidence. There is no way we don't make it.
Heard Astral saying it there. You could lose a few times in the wild card, still have an opportunity. Now you only get to lose once, Spades.
Listen, after the wild card, I think they stamped it that they were the best team coming in. I think there was a lot of question marks between them and V1. Who's the better team? But Nolan and the boys, they came in hot. Astral's playing the best Rocket League he's ever played, but it starts with this young man right here. The moment they had added him, Gregan, it's been nothing but domination.
Yeah, Joseph, an amazing player. Joseph, by the way, being Nolly, with tight like that.
Oh, yeah, first name, baby.
Yeah, he's been one of the most amazing players to work with, so determined to be one of the best in the world, and I think this team really lit that fire inside of him, and we've seen him develop so much just in the time he's been at K-Corp.
And then Itachi, the glue on the field. He was involved in 2 goals per game when playing against qualifying teams at a wild card. That was tied for first with his teammate Astral as well. And we saw him in London. Astral moving up those rankings for the best player in the world. We're going to talk about Yan in a bit, but Astral has been looking fantastic.
I feel like for K-Corp and for Astral in particular, every match they win here at the World Championship is the newest, best thing their team has done.
And we look back at the last World Championship we had, Season 8 in 2019. Astral was one of the most mechanical players at the time, was feared. We have not seen a mechanical player stay at the top of the scene and be this mechanical for this long. Astral has kept those mechanics and is still outstanding to this day.
Well, it's hard to stay at the top with as much new blood raring at the bottom, nipping at the heels of the old guard here. One team full of 3 players trying to cement their name in Rocket League history is Furia.
Esse campeonato é o mais importante de todos, né? Não é à toa que é o Mundial. O sacrifício que eu fiz para estar aqui, só Deus sabe.
Here's Yan. They need some more magic from him.
No way.
Will he provide? Will he ever? How does he keep doing this?
A Fúria é o melhor time porque a gente é muito rápido, muito mecânico e como sempre a gente sempre dá a vida nos campeonatos. Com certeza se nós ganhar o Mundial é um sonho que vai se tornar realidade, ainda mais para mim, estou desde o começo, desde 2015 no cenário. Com certeza vai ser um sonho se tornar realidade.
Furia, they're the team that has all the momentum in the tournament.
Yan wants to go the whole way! Step up! Yan, the man!
O futuro da Fúria só está começando. A gente acabou de ganhar uma LAN, daqui a pouco vai ser um Mundial e vai indo. Bora Brasil, aqui é Fúria, porra!
I'm amped up after listening to him talk there, and he's got the crowd amped up here as well, Gibbs.
Man, it's going to be so exciting. Fury obviously coming off that Gamers 8 win. They want to prove it also in 3v3. 2 majors in a row where they performed exceptionally well. 2 top 6s. They want more, though, Greg.
I mean, one word to describe this whole team is passion. When these guys win controllers, headsets are scared. These guys pop off, and they deserve it because they have worked hard, as we heard. A lot of sacrifice going into this performance. They've been waiting a long time, especially this man here, Kaio. He's been one of the longest-standing South American stars, and he's still here to this day.
Needs the glue. He holds the team down, especially in the back end. He allows his young men that we're about to see in a few seconds. He allows him to roam, allows him to be arguably one of the best offensive threats in the game himself. And he's coming right here. Yan, the man on a mission. Arguably one of the best players, and not the best player in the world right now. You see him with the eyes. They have the composure. They got that swagger. They got that juice. And they move a little bit differently than everybody else in the whole entire scene.
The South American MVP has made Furia one of the best teams in the world. Now it's World Championship time. Yan, we know you're one of the best, but now you got to prove it on this big moment.
It's Carmine Corp versus Furia, but it feels like, in my mind, Greg, and this is Astral versus Yan.
Well, I mean, we look back to when they twos played at London. You know, it was the first series went very much in favor of Carmine Corp, but then when they faced each other off in that lower bracket, it was 4-3. So a close matchup between these two teams, but in their region, of course, Furia so dominant in South America, at times falling off and then getting relit into that top team that they are. And it seems to be when they come to this international stage that we see the full potential, especially of Yan.
All right, well, let's get your thoughts at home. Who do you think is going to win it? Let us know in the Verizon fan vote. Hashtag KC, hashtag FUR, depending on which side you're following. Greg, and this is a hard one. We've had some upset matches. This one I feel like could go either way.
Well, you know, I'm predicting very particularly at this event of who I think is the favorite. And on this occasion, the team that has got the best results in the past, I said K-Corp beat Furia twice before. Also, the teams from the wildcard have got a little bit of momentum. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough to give them that comfort on stage. So I'm going to be going and building the block slowly of the blue wall. Here it comes. We're going with the blue wall. It's going to be K-Corp.
I've been back and forth this entire death segment. I can't bet against Yan. I can't do it. I'm going Furia. I'm going Furia here. Yan has been on a mission to be the best in the world. I'm going Furia.
It sounds like booze, but it's only because they're all right here.
Yeah, there's
a Furia
there's a lot of
over this wall.
Listen, I know it's an Astro Yan. We both know that they're going to pop off. It really comes down to the other two. Noli Itachi versus Kara and Kaio. Noli, the moment he's been added into this K-Corp roster, has been nothing but exceptional. But in Itachi, he's the person that nobody really talks about. But he's always trying to clean up, always trying to make the plays. I believe he's going to make the plays. And what's the color? I said, what's the color? Oh, yeah! I'm going with K-Corp right here, baby. Man, come on, holy Noli! Holy Noli!
Bates, how are you never wrong when you keep picking wrong? Give me Fury on this one. South America going the whole way in the upper bracket, folks. We got a ball game if we've ever had one. How does the chat feel about it in the Verizon fan vote? Split pretty much down the middle, but the wall is blue in the chat there, folks. Let's get over to the stage. We got a banger of a match coming down the pipeline. In the blue, of course, it's the blue wall. Carmine Corp trying to go and get the 4 wins before the Furia from South America can put it up in the orange there. Let's get down to the Verizon Skybox for game 1.
The best in Brazil taking on the blue wall. 2 times they failed before, but it's the 3rd time the charm.
Maybe it is. I think so. I think so, because you know what? Today is Dia de Furia. That's what we're going to see.
It's an exciting one for sure. Furia gaining a little bit of momentum themselves last month, winning the Gamers 8 competition, and while it was a different format, it had to do wonders for their confidence. But as the devs were alluding to, K-Corp having a wonderful wild card, building momentum of their own.
Yeah, both teams have a lot of momentum, so let's see what happens. I mean, I don't think that Furia has been standing doing nothing like a K-Corp implied. So, I mean, momentum is something in the mind that you keep in the mind, and now Furia is, I think it's better than ever. I think Kaio has been doing his homework, and Yanks, I mean, we know what this guy can do.
Absolutely. On the other side, while a lot of talk is about Astral, you heard T-Bates hyping up Nolly, and you can understand why. K-Corp, they add Nolly to the roster, and all of a sudden, they're one of the best teams in the world. An insane team so far, but feeling a little bit of pressure, a little close to the side, still off the backboard, free for Astral to clear away.
That was a good play from Furia. They were trying to put the ball on net. Obviously, it went a little bit high, but they're getting there little by little. I mean, this is only the first minute that they had that chance. K-Corp is trying to find a way to get the ball out of the blue zone, but it's getting tough right now.
And Nolly able to win the next 50. Furia handling K-Corp for now. They're looking for a hard clear downfield. Kaio trying to connect with Yan, and he does. Yan actually bullying Nolly out of the way. Card forced out of the play. Furia back on defense.
You got the Card trying to be that third man right now. I don't like that too much. I want Card to be up front. That's a nasty play. Oh my God, they didn't. I thought they had a chance. I thought they had a chance. It was an open net, and I thought they were going to score on that one. I watched it with the reason. Oh my God, Card! There you have the king. Not trying. I mean, I told you, I don't want him as a third man. I want him pushing forward and then opening shots for himself or for Yanks, and that's exactly what he did.
It does feel like the last few tournaments, Card has been taking that step forward again, where before it was all about Card. He got the nomenclature King Card for a reason. And seeing him step up, get the first goal for Furia, gotta do wonders. Kaio pushing forward for him. Kaio's story really as good as anybody's in Rocket League. And what a pass off the bar. Furia hitting the bar a lot, having a lot of pressure. Here comes Yan off the back, got the reset. Nolly takes it away.
Kaio is still that center man, that man that's going to be in the midfield, waiting for the ball, and he's been very patient. Look how he's giving time to his teammates to go for boost, to recover, to just make the offense work. And now, I mean, he didn't make the clear, but it was thanks to him that they got such a good clear on that instance.
Quick pass out from K-Corp. They haven't really had a lot of time on offense. To commit Astral backing him up, and you see Nolly trying to harass the back line as well. So K-Corp, even though they're not hanging on to the ball for a long time on the orange half, they're still taking those risks, still getting those bumps in front, have the rebound, but then taken away. Nice jump in front by Card.
What a save by Card. I mean, he really needed to be in that lane, jump and just make the save up from the back. And that was what he took to take the ball away from Carmine Corp, which is attacking right now. Watch it. That's going to be a good pass. Oh, Noli attacking. He got the shot. I mean, you see an open net like that, and Noli is not going to miss it.
And a nice read from Astral. Caught that bounce right before it happened. Nolly picking up the demo as well. Card jumps up, has to try to guess where exactly Nolly's going to shoot that, trying to cover as well as he could, but a good play from Astral and Nolly.
And I am the biggest cheerleader for Furia, right? But I still, have to take my hat off from that play. Astral was amazing. He was on point. The demo before the shot from Noli was great, and then Noli just putting the ball on the net, making it look easy. What a play by K-Corp.
Nolly, he gets the engine going on offense, and he's as dangerous as anybody in Rocket League. Itachi trying to set that ball up, but it's sent back. And the last best of 7 these two teams played, it started out with K-Corp jetting out to a 3-game lead. And then Furia able to come back and try to cause a reverse sweep. It feels dead even right now in game number 1. It's Furia going to pull the ball back out.
Watch it how K-Corp is keeping the ball a little bit more control, a little bit closer to themselves to avoid those long passes, and then having Kaio intercepted on the midfield.
Another free ball for Yan. Trying to avoid the rotation as he gets deleted. Now they got an opening. Itachi back over to Astral. Backboard covered by Card. Yan punches the ball to the side. Actually wins the contest. Back over to Kaio in midfield. Kaio lets it drop down. Had the read back, but taken away by Nolly.
Jax was trying to go for that one. Oh, that's an open net. Yeah, it is. It is an open net. Itachi won't be missing that one. And now, all of a sudden, with 1 minute left, K-Corp is up by 1.
Trying to see where exactly the rotation broke down. It looked like Yan going up a little far past the midfield line, trying to get back as soon as that ball whipped around the corner. K-Corp taking advantage. Now off the kickoff. Itachi wins it, and Astral has the shot. Oh, what a save from Card. Comes across, and Furia take it away.
Itachi still has the ball, and he's going all in on that one. He's going to make the pass. Noli and Astral both jump for that one. Noli nothing on the boost tank, so he could complete that ball, and Card will take the clear.
Push downfield, but K-Corp hunting for another goal. Shot on the far side, off the post. And K-Corp pulling off on this play. Pass in front.
I mean, the pass was great, and Janks, in between defenders, he was able to get the ball in the net. Everyone from K-Corp was trying to their best to get to the net, but a little bit too late for them. 2-2 game, a tight match with 30 seconds left.
A lot of play off the transition, too. Both teams extending forward the roster to try to push forward. K-Corp very confident on that push. Here's another shot taken away by Yan. Oh, both teams high towards that crossbar, forcing both defenses to be really critical about where they're clearing that ball, making sure every touch is quality. It bounces over one. Kaio in front. The end of regulation around the corner. It's around for Itachi. Wins 150, but it's still Furia ball. Up high is Yan, denied by Nolly. Looks like we're going to have overtime. They bump in. No, Nolly wants to play. No chance.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this. We knew we were going to have a good series. A tight, you know, a very... It was almost there.
He's there.
Still have the chance and saved by Janks. I was saying, I mean, we knew we were going to have a good match, but I mean, a first game overtime, this is telling you how even these two teams are.
A couple of scary moments, really, for both teams. A couple of those balls could have went either way. Things settle down now. 50 pops up, Card gets caught out. Another big clear for K-Corp. Coming down the other way. Transition for Astral. 2 touches. Nolly has to backflip out of the play. Card gets the read. Beats one K-Corp defender, but pushed right back. Neither team really getting those consistent touches, connecting with each other. Both defenses able to challenge. Shot in front. Goal!
The pass, the goal. I mean, that has been the way that they are scoring on this match. They are passing midfield, infield passes, and putting a lot of power behind those shots. That's the only way they have been able to score.
Great pass from K-Corp. Hanging on as Furia tried to come back. And Itachi picking up the MVP honors. But felt like Nolly was really the biggest force on offense for them. Even doing a lot of the work off ball that you don't see. Sometimes it's not even on camera where he's swinging around. He's stealing boost, taking away options, forcing Furia to respect his presence on the line. And that kind of physicality, or at least the fear of the physicality from Nolly, keeps Furia honest in how they try to clear it out. K-Corp took their chances. They have the options, and they got them beat.
And it's a little bit scary when you're saying, well, Itachi is the MVP and Nolly was the backup man. And Astral, not so much. I mean, yes, he was playing good, but we haven't seen the best of Astral yet. So whenever that happens, if that happens, then it could be, I mean, even worse for Furia.
Furia definitely looking pretty good so far, but K-Corp looking even better. You're Greg and talking about, you know, wildcard teams in general having that momentum that's benefited them so far in the group stage. Astral, you were talking a little bit before that Astral and Kaio, they look very similar. They look like they're brothers.
They got a look going on, you know, the glasses, the beard. I don't know, yeah.
All Astral needs is the sleeve tattoo. And then, you know, I would be convinced that they were twins.
They call him in South America the EU Kaio. I don't know. Maybe he wants Kaio to be called the Sam Astral. I don't know about that.
Maybe he just wants to be called Kaio.
Yes.
Ooh, touch up. That's going to be a Furia goal. Kaio getting credit for this one. Yan on the pass.
Talking about the great one, Yanks got the pass, and Yanks was one of the players that he was a little bit quiet on that first matchup. I noticed that he wasn't playing with a lot of boost in that last minute. So that's a great idea. If K-Corp can limit the boost from Yanks, you know Yanks is deadliest when he's on the air. So if they can keep it away from the boost, that's great. And what is going on?
Ricard got the scooper out on this play. Winning on the kickoff. K-Corp caught out. Astral tried to get back, and that little delay freezes Astral for a second and allows Card to really pick his spot, get the power on the shot. That was excellently done by Card.
Yeah, I think Astral was waiting for Card to cross the shot, and then Card, you know, as you said, he just stopped the ball a little bit and then decided to go to the other side. Very smart from Card, and that 2-0 lead, I mean, we have seen Furia had the lead before in previous games, you know, previous tournaments, and they somehow sometimes lose it. So I hope this doesn't go to their head, you know, like they keep playing aggressive without limiting their defense.
That seemed to be the one thing that really burned Furia also was their slow start. Where I don't think they looked as good in game one in the London major, excuse me, as they did in the last game, keeping it close with K-Corp the whole way. But K-Corp, a threat every step. You gotta watch out for that transition. Card underneath. He's looked solid so far. Yan keeping the play going in midfield. Underneath on the reset. Card playing it close, but Astral there on the defense.
Kaio's keeping that one close, still on the blue zone. Tachi will get the clear, and Card will respond with that one. Tachi again on the ball, and he has the opportunity to get the pass to Astral, but great save. The ball is still not off, and now Furia was able to get the clear. That was a scary situation for Furia.
And Nolly didn't really have a lot to go, excuse me. He didn't have but where to go on that ball, but punching it against the back wall, Furia back over to the corner. The catch out, pops it around one defender. Nolly there. Both teams fighting for possession. Card underneath. Didn't have enough boost to go. Kaio and Card low on boost, but still with the pressure with Yan. off the back wall, looking for a bump. He screens Astral off the play, off the bar, and it catches right on Nolly's bumper.
Ah, man, that crossbar has been there. Oh, what a pass, what a shot by Itachi. And I'm telling you, these guys, K-Corp, with those passes, they have been relentless so far in these first two matches. I mean, 72 miles per hour, and that, you know, how good is that pass? How accurate it is.
And on the transition again, Furia can't respond. The pass, like you said, on the money, and the shot just as good. Astral, get the ball back out over to Itachi. Furia trying to add back to the lead. Card off the ceiling. Got another touch off the board. Shot coming, no. Gonna play defense. Or K-Corp playing good defense and a pop in midfield. Slow down for Yan. He's been shut down every time he's gotten behind the ball. He hasn't really had a lot of space to work with. Kaio pushes it across, but again, backboard defense solid enough here from K-Corp.
So fun how different are the styles of these two teams. Like Furia today decided, okay, we're not gonna limit a card by any means. Oh, talking about Card, how we're not gonna limit him at all.
Card again, his third goal of the series so far. A nice pass from Kaio off the 50, and he just straight up dunks K-Corp on the attack.
And the funny thing is, I was gonna say, Card has been using his mechanics a lot, and maybe Furia was not passing as much, but in this case, you know, they proved it wrong completely. Like Card doesn't need to do mechanics the whole time, and yes, they can do the passes.
K-Corp, they've done well controlling their possessions. They always look threatening on the attack, but then Kaio splits the defense to race to the ball. Nolly is gonna get the first touch, but it forced the touch out. And a race, Furia won't get caught out on the rotation this time. Still K-Corp so fast in their third. Furia haven't really controlled the boost game. They haven't been dominant in the boost game. And you see K-Corp be so fast flying out of the thirds when you think Furia are starting to get control of the midfield. Somebody from K-Corp has already read the play, and they're up in front of it. Even there, Astral expends the tank to get to the ball. Furia, they kind of just have to wait for those blue card touches before they can get another try.
You always have the feel that K-Corp can counter-attack. At any given moment, they can have a strong clear and then counter. And that's very scary if you are Furia. And they keep the ball very tight. I don't know how they were able to do so, but what a shot! And Astral on the back, they are never in a bad position. They're always having someone on the back.
In their follow-ups, the second man has always been in the perfect spot, especially on that offensive try. You had all three players be in the perfect spot for a 50. Astral, the control. Look at how K-Corp weave around the Furia attack and force them back on the defense. Nolly swings that ball back around, and Furia constantly having to work against Astral. They have to body him through his card and just get back downfield.
And they're trying to be very unique, like trying new things. I'm talking about Furia, and still K-Corp doesn't buy it. They stick to their roots. They say, okay, this is where the ball's gonna go, and we're gonna, you know, be ready for anything that you bring.
But credit to Furia, they haven't allowed K-Corp to catch them out on the transition, and they've retained this 2-goal lead. 30 seconds left. Yan cut out by Itachi. Nolly beat to the ball by Kaio. Card gonna wait as Itachi. They got a 3-on-1. Yan also rotated back. Furia back to full strength on defense. Itachi hoping for a pass, but you see K-Corp already on the retreat. Astral trying to read the touch. I think Furia have done enough to waste time on the clock, but K-Corp get one more. Touch off the backboard, covered by Yan. And that's gonna do it for game number 2. Furia even the score in game 2. We got a tie series.
We got a tie series, and I'm gonna say this. I'm so proud of Furia in this match because we were talking a lot about how good Noli was in defensive transition, but if you look back at the old Furia, you know, maybe a year and a half ago or something like that, they would have gotten scored a lot of times with those transitions from K-Corp, and they always had someone in the back. I think Yanks, for some reason, was that guy this time. I mean, we also always have Kaio on the midfield, but Yanks was way in the back, and Card maybe playing a little bit more forward, and it worked. I mean, you see the numbers, you're not impressed by what Yanks was doing, but at the same time, he was not allowing K-Corp to attack.
It does come down to the compliments. Everyone's talking about Yan versus Astral, but then you think about Itachi and Nolly, Kaio and Card backing it up, and it really does come down to those compliments and how you synergize as a team. And like you were saying, the Furia of old, over-aggressive, maybe not paying so much attention to the rotation, thinking, we're just going to get the challenge, next challenge, next challenge. But now, much more patient. And it's not just about being patient, but it's about choosing when to be aggressive, when to take the challenge, and finding that brain power to get by K-Corp. This time in game 2, Fury were a little better, but man, K-Corp looks so scary as a roster. The way they're passing the ball and carrying it right now, Fury can't let up.
It is scary. And that's the thing. We were talking about matchups, we were talking about Astral and Yanks, but at the end of the day, it's 3v3. It's not 1v1. So you got 2 other guys per team that are doing an excellent job, and they're so good at keeping the pressure. I mean, even when they're down on the match, it feels like K-Corp can bring it back anytime. So,
we were both like, that would have been a nasty angle. Astral, look at Nolly, he's already flying through the air. Maybe a bit of a gaff there from K-Corp. Now Yan trying to take advantage over Itachi. Astral misses the ball, and it's a goal for Kaio!
Look at that. Look at Yanks. He fakes Itachi so much that he was able to put it over Itachi, and then Kaio was able to get the goal, the easy goal. But everyone was thinking, okay, Itachi got it. Probably Itachi thought to himself and to his teammates, like, I got it.
He needed to get it because Astral had no boost. All Astral could do is double hop and just hope he had enough height, but he didn't. And now K-Corp forced into a response. Underneath, it's Furia again, trying to put the pressure on. Kaio got the boost steal, but Itachi not gonna let him get it for free. But Kaio will not quit on the play. Nolly with that midfield boost. He's got Astral on the wing. Reset available. No dunk, taken away by Card.
That was a nasty play by Nolly. You saw Yanks jump from the wall, and he was trying to block that one, but no, they needed 2 people to block Nolly, and luckily Card was on the backboard to save that one. Astral this time is able to keep it close to the orange zone, and he's doing everything by himself. Kaio's in a bad position, but Card was able to go from the wall and try to make the pass for Yanks.
Yan will push that ball out. K-Corp. How do they get out of defense on this one? Because the shot's coming off the bar, and red taken away. Astral forces the 50, and K-Corp are going to get out. Transition. Here comes Itachi. Over one. Itachi on the board. He tried for it himself. Nolly keeps the clear away. Wants to play back to Astral, and he's got him. Itachi. No challenge for him. Furia, hang on.
It was so frustrating for Itachi. I mean, he did everything right, and his teammates were not close to get that ball on the net. And they really need that. I mean, you gotta trust Itachi. You gotta trust that he's gonna do that, even if you don't have that much boost. Oh! That was a nasty demo on the air. I thought they were gonna have the second touch.
Yan tried to turn into a fighter jet. Astral, precarious position. His Card tries to bump him off the play. The Furia, a team historically that has struggled in the physical game, have really evolved their play to be not overly physical, but they've definitely incorporated it a lot more. That was something that they used to get beat on so easily as they dive in front for another stop.
I don't know how they stopped that one. Astral was in the perfect position to score that ball, and the passes continue from K-Corp. Furia really needs to get the pass, and now they try to get the clear, but for how long? Because right now it seems like K-Corp is the one dominating the pacing of the game.
The last 2 goals of the series belong to Furia, but K-Corp even the score. Itachi taking the pass in.
Furia had the right idea on this one. They were trying to get to the ball before it hit Itachi. You know, like Yanks was trying to get there. He missed it by a little bit, and it was enough then for Itachi to get the goal. 1-1, 2:22 to play.
The transition continues to be successful for K-Corp. If they can keep finding those 2-on-1 situations, that seems to be the best bet for them. Kaio is underneath. Astral diving in front. They just stop the Furia rotation, and they get a free shot. Kaio there again. The Furia not first to the ball. Astral avoids one. Having to avoid an orange card. Caught underneath. Here comes Card. No dunk. Nolly takes it away.
It's the old Card coming on, and I don't know if I'm all for it or not. I'm confused right now because he's going for resets and resets and resets every single time. And yes, it does open up some plays every now and then, but when he misses those touch, when he loses control of the ball, he's without boost. He doesn't have anything on the tank, and it takes him a lot of time to regroup in defense.
K-Corp, a little bit more pressure. Nolly has to respect Kaio on the play. Nice catch from Astral. Furia trying to push forward again. Kaio gets bumped out of the way. Itachi reads that nicely from Yan. But Card behind the ball with space above the ceiling, taken away by Astral, who's been so so good at reading Furia's pushes. He's gotten to a lot of those balls on the defense. The few times they have gotten by Astral is because he's been starved on the boost. He's left with nothing. From K-Corp, as long as they can find a way to at least even that boost battle up, and they don't get stuck on defense, they keep the game tied, maybe even add, but Card, another catch. K-Corp surviving. Shot in front, taken away.
Astral, I mean, we have to say that he's been amazing on the defense. I don't know if he's getting enough credit, enough points in this match for every single time that he's taking the ball away and making it clear. Oh my God, that was a nice shot. And again, Astral was in the back trying to defend, and this time there is no Astral on the net. He wasn't there to defend, and Team Card gets the second goal for Furia.
If you can't beat him to lead him, Yan throwing him into the scrap heap, opening the doorway for Furia. 30 seconds left. K-Corp, you want a little bit of pressure. Can they force this into at least an overtime? Astral on the catch, underneath. Kyle not letting them happen. And Yan and Card gonna link up back the other way. Card off the ceiling, doesn't get the touch. And 3 commit from K-Corp there. A little panicky there on the defense, but they get the clear.
Well, they know they don't have that much time, so they do have to go very fast for those clears. And there's a second touch for Kyle. It was close, but not good enough. Card keeps the ball on the blue zone. Astral misses that one. Another shot on net in this one. Card is gonna get it in. I mean, Card is back. I mean, he is an offensive player right now for Furia.
Who's Yan? This is Card's kingdom. Hang on a second. Furia taking game 3 and taking the lead in the series. It has been, let's see, 1, 2, 3 plus 7, that's 10. It's been like 12 games since Furia has led in a series against K-Corp. In fact, they've never led in a series against K-Corp in the last 3 matches that they've played. This time, it's a little different. And while Yan has certainly taken a back seat, he's been bottom of the scoreboard the last 2 games, he doesn't have to be the guy that's scoring. In fact, it's probably better that way that Yan isn't scoring. It was 1.44 goals a game in their last series against Furia. But Card taking the front seat. Kyle also looking excellent.
In Yanks, he's not scoring, but he has 1 assist. He had a demo, and then Card was able to jump in. So he is an offensive player. I mean, he's attacking. He's helping his teammates to attack. He's not just shooting that much, or maybe getting the goals, because he actually has 4 shots on net right now. But I think this is very, very good, very useful, because people are waiting for Yanks to show up and do their thing, and we know he can. He's just decided not to, because I mean, maybe they want to bother K-Corp a little bit like that. It's a different game. It's maybe a mental game right now. So maybe anytime we can use Yanks, you just don't know when.
No timeout from Carmine Corp. It did take game 1, and typically when we see the 2-1 scoreline, you don't see the timeout come out unless you go down 3-1. So we'll see what happens here if K-Corp can even it up. They've looked really solid for the most part. It's been that really relentless physical pressure from Furia in that last game that really did them in. But we've talked about their transition. We talked about K-Corp's ability to control the ball, really from all 3 players. Now you gotta withstand. Quick pressure. The demo! Oh! Card again!
I'm telling you, maybe all Yanks would have decided, I'm going for the shot. I'm taking the shot, because he could have gone for that one. Instead, he went for the demo, and Card was there. They are so in sync right now. They know, okay, yeah, like, it was a call. Yanks says, I'm going for the demo, and Card says, okay, I'm going for the shot. I mean, that good was that play.
Furia, all bouncing on the same wavelength, and a free shot for Kyle! 2-0 Furia!
Don't give him free shots. You can't do that to Furia. You cannot do it. Noli was trying to get there, maybe a backflip or something like a misclick, but still, you gotta be more aware of that situation. We were talking about how good Astral was on the back before in the previous matches. They need to go back to that if they want to defend those shots.
When you did have Astral and Itachi kind of get tied up on the ramp on the sidewall, and not only really expecting somebody on K-Corp, you think if 2 are committed on that ball, from his perspective, probably looked like they were going to at least get a touch on it, and instead it's a free pass to Kaio. So not working out for K-Corp on that play. This is where you got to settle the nerves a little bit. The offense has gotten out of control on Furia, and that's where you need that calming presence, be able to be like, it's only 2. We've come back from 2-0 down from the same exact team before. We can do it again. There's plenty of time.
They got 4 minutes to play, so yes, there's plenty of time so far. So, and I know K-Corp knows that. I mean, they are very cool-headed guys. I think in the past, it might have seemed that they were very emotional, but I think lately, they have been able to control their emotions and play very well regardless of the situation. So, you know, I wouldn't count them out just because Furia has those 2 very early goals.
Bounce down, Kyle. Been the rock for Furia in this game, and the ball doesn't matter! Ian covers it cleanly. Astral got another catch underneath. No shot taken away.
How do you feel about that? I mean, you did everything perfectly. You got the bump, you got the shot, and then out of sudden, Yanks, and again, Yanks. I mean, we were talking, he's not attacking, he's not making the open, he's making the save. There it is! Gallo with the awesome save again. Another shot, and Yanks again from the backboard. He's not letting anything in.
There were 3 different mix-ups there. Itachi went for the aerial fake to let Astral take the shot. When it didn't matter, it was still closed off. No touch there, taken away. Furia hanging on defense. As Itachi just trying to stint the attack. Here comes Kaio. Shot underneath, blocked.
I'm telling you, if you are a fan of old Furia, you have to be so proud right now. You have to feel so good about these guys because not only they can score, but they can also defend at the same time. And I mean, the game should be tied right now. I'm telling you, the game should be 2-2 right now.
Well, they might get one here. Itachi lets it drop to commit from Furia that may leave an opening. But Nolly didn't have he didn't have many places to go with the ball. His card pushes it back downfield. Nolly off the ceiling, pass in front, and Itachi finally squeezes through the net. K-Corp split the lead.
It was about time. I mean, these guys have been doing great passes and demos and bumps and everything. This time it was Furia out of positioning. They were able to go a little bit faster. K-Corp advanced a lot faster than the Furia. Great pass. They have shown over and over and over in this series that they can pass very well. Awesome. A beautiful fake on that one from Furia. But still the ball on the orange zone, and you know, that's scary. That's scary when K-Corp is playing this aggressive as they are.
Momentum can flip so easily. And as soon as K-Corp get that control, they get a bump in front, starting to get more physical. Nolly, nowhere to go, and now Kaio forces the 50 underneath. It's a race for that boost steal, but K-Corp relieves the pressure and then get a dunk. Nolly, can he get back to that ball? Taken away by Furia, just back on the rotation.
Wow, what a fake.
It's always so hard to read when exactly that flip's gonna come out, and he's given a chance. Yan got the first block. Can he get the clear? Pops it over one. Astral forced back on the play. Card slips it over top. On the corner, pass in front. Where are they? There he is with the shot taken away.
Great transition by Furia. Yanks got the ball, then Card, and going over the defender. Pass to Kaio, and Kaio with the shot. I mean, still, it was a good defense by K-Corp, which I told you beforehand. I mean, a 2-0 lead from Furia in the first minute was nothing by K-Corp, and they are still very aggressive with 1 minute left.
Around the corner, Yan missing the touch. K-Corp have been building that pressure gauge, and they find a way to explode for another goal. Have to start from their own corner. The 50, Itachi still with control off the 50. He's still going. Got the 50, trying to keep pressure. You thought maybe that 50 was going to go his way, but still K-Corp, they got to try again.
It's like, how do you keep pressure with no boost? Yeah, let me show you right here, right now.
Crazy how you put your car in the right spot and you can just stop all the ball's momentum. Stay right under the car. K-Corp losing time now. With all that pressure, nothing to show for it. Kaio flips it over one again in the midfield. He has been brutal to get by. Yan lets that one drop himself. Maybe 2 tries left for K-Corp. Astral with the midfield boost to drop underneath. The pass denied.
So close on that one. That was critical to have it. And now Furia is getting the clear with only 1 second left. Itachi is going to try to keep it up. Noli has the chance with the pass for Astral. Astral trying to just...
Itachi's there.
Itachi. Oh, what a save by Card. Noli was going to try to keep it up. No good. And Furia wins the 4th match, putting themselves 3-1 in the series.
Match point for Furia. K-Corp unable to respond to the Brazilians. And man, they look good so far. K-Corp really haven't looked that bad. They've tried the mix-ups, they've tried getting physical, but it hasn't been enough, Chamaco. They have not been able to break through that Furia backline. They're playing the better defense right now.
they are playing good defense, and K-Corp is, I mean, offense is excellent. They had 10 shots on the net. Furia only had 4, and that's it. So it's incredible. It's incredible that Furia had the lead all this time, because to be honest, as we were casting this, the first minute was all Furia.
Yeah.
But other than that, I felt that everything else was K-Corp.
Absolutely, and they had that midfield presence. They had the plays, but it is timeout for K-Corp. They will be taking it here, taking a minute to figure out how to get by this team. For your mark, what does it have to be for K-Corp to get by Furia? If they, because we talk about having the midfield presence, having the pressure, but they're missing those shots, especially in the last minute. The shots started to wane off. Furia played the ball to the corners excellently. Kyle has been impossible to get by in the third and the midfield. So how do you deal with this?
I wouldn't say impossible to pass by. I think they have, I mean, if you have 10 shots on net.
But they've only scored 1 goal in the last.
I understand that part, but at the same time, they only played bad the first minute. So if you take that minute away, it was a K-Corp game.
Fair.
So, I mean, do they have to change much? Maybe not. I mean, they only had to start right. And that was a good chance, a good opportunity that Furia took. And then it was about, holding that lead for as long as they could.
I do feel like there's some times where you see Nolly, last man back, trying to buy his team time. Or not last man back, but last man on the push, where you're seeing K-Corp, they're leaving for canisters more often. They're not able to control the boost game. And I feel like if you're going to beat Furia at this point, they're taking away the saves. Even when you're demoing them, it's not working. They got to find a way to win that battle of attrition. Starts with those midfield boosts. You win those, then you start pressuring the corners. Because we've seen Kyle, I keep calling him out, but more and more I'm running it back through my brain. How many times have we seen him get the corner boost? Yep. They start starving Karmine Corp more. Go on Wasteland. Something has to change for K-Corp. Can Furia finally get revenge over the blue wall? Or can K-Corp make it last just a little bit longer? We're underway in game number 5.
Game 5. Let's see what they have. You were talking about Kalyo, how he's stealing boost and, just getting that corner boost for himself. And those are the little things that you don't see on the scoreboard, but they do so much damage. If K-Corp can start doing the same thing against Furia, maybe they will have a chance to attack a little bit easier.
Furia with Kyle, denied underneath by Nolly. At third, protected initially is K-Corp. Looking for a push. Nolly taking out the second man. Yan still gonna find nothing as Nolly gets in front of it. But it's a long ball. No one from K-Corp able to connect on the play. So Furia will keep it in the blue.
Very good pressure from Furia early on. And now Nolly will get the pass. Shoot on net. Card is over there. Should have it easy. Kyle with the great pass now for Yanks. Yanks trying to get the redirect, but great save by the blue wall. And Nolly again with the clear, but there's no one else to get that ball, to get that clear. So it's going to stop that momentum a little bit. Oh, what a miss! Oh, Yanks! Oh, wow! That was so close twice. I don't get. I mean, Kyle with the miss. Unfortunate, but then the save was great, and Itachi just there. I told you before, Itachi was making some very good plays at putting the ball right in front of the net, and no one was there. So he's not gonna let that happen. When someone puts the ball right in the net, Itachi is gonna be there, so it doesn't happen to them the same day it happens to him.
Yeah, Yan, he tried to pull and missed, but the ball had other ideas for Yan. He bounces right off of it, and Itachi, like you said, he finally breaks through on the play. It's a nice bounce over to Nolly, but he couldn't get the touch. That leaves an opening. Ooh! And Astral covers it up, but a demo on the back line from K-Corp. The transition is slow coming. Orange card gets in the way again. Astral got the read in front. Nolly was playing Headhunter, and Itachi was playing the Lost on it. So K-Corp, they're playing a little different on their rotation. That follow-up man looking for the physicality rather than looking for the follow-up. Earlier on in the series, you saw the rotation a little more playing towards the 50 rather than trying to get that physicality. I think that's testament to how Furia have played this game. K-Corp continuing to try to redraw how they're rotating on offense, trying to figure out how to get by Furia.
Hey, and I mentioned on the previous match that it was a better game for K-Corp after minute number 4. But Furia started with an early lead. This time it's all the way around, so it's Furia the one who has to put the pressure after that first minute. So let's see if they can do it, because so far it's been them scoring very early and then holding to that lead. I don't know. I mean, will they be able to be down and still win the match?
I think if they want to, they're going to have to get by Itachi. He's had a couple 50s that have stuffed the Furia rotation on defense. Astral. He's been behind the ball, and his 50s haven't been as successful. He did get the first one there, but couldn't get it away from Card. Nice pop from Kyle. Back to Card. Denied by Itachi. Yan's there, denied by Astral. A pop over to the side. Ooh, Card getting demoed on the play. Yan has to come back quickly. Saved when it's in front of the net. Goal! Itachi gets his second.
That was a great attempt from Jax, but you know the ball bounced back to the meat of the net.